All right, Joan. Let's do this. Oh my god. Oh, freak me. Let's do this, Joan. Let's freaking do this. Yeah. Starting early because people are yelling at me already. I messed up. I'm so freaking fried. All right. This seems to be live. Okay. Uh is it live? Is it on? It says I have an excellent connection, but don't I have to hit live or something? Or am I on? I don't even know. God, I'm so fried. Been sitting out in the sun all day. I have to hit something in here. What is all this? I've had a new insert ad. I don't want to insert ads. Daily ads. Oh, God, YouTube. God dang you, YouTube. All right, somebody get in here and tell me that I'm live, or else I'm going to have to end this stream. It says live. Viewers may see ads at different times to maximize my revenue. I don't want that. Can I edit? Is it too late to edit things? Let's see. Yeah, what the hell, man? I got to do this. I'm going to do a live stream. Hollywoke hot take. Okay. No, we're doing that. Okay. Today, it's 22nd. All right. I guess that's okay. I think we're live, Joan. I think we're live. I don't friggin' know. If I'm not live, is there anybody in this chat? As soon as somebody talks to me, then I'll know. No one's in yet. Why do I have so many freaking problems? YouTube. I blame YouTube. Because they suck. They suck. Anyhow. What are we doing? What are we doing? Telling you about my weekend so far. So even if this, for some reason, isn't live, you'll see this on the repeat. So this weekend, I had quite a weekend. During the week, I did a couple of events. I had one get canceled. I forget why. I think it just needed to be postponed for some reason. Oh no, I just had one event. That's my haircut I wrote on the calendar. I did it at a senior center on Monday, I think it was. No, that was a library. That was the Sea Isle City Library. And that was a cool library, by the way, if you haven't been, because the museum's in it too. And the entire city of Sea Isle in New Jersey, which is on the coast, got wiped out in a hurricane in 1962. And they rebuilt the entire city. And one of the things that got destroyed was the carousel. And so there was a guy who was there in 62, and there were only 2 horses that survived. And he took one of them. Like, he didn't steal it, he asked. And they said, sure, take it. So he put it in his house, and then it ended up in Pennsylvania, and eventually it ended up in this old woman's house, and she donated it back to the Sea Isle Museum, and they got it back. So it was kind of cool that it survived that way. They can't, by the way, they can't find any pictures of the Sea Isle carousel while it was operating. They only have ones when it was destroyed, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, so they had a whole cool museum, and they had people donate their old photos of their families who live in Sea Isle to the museum, so they keep them, which I thought was kind of cool too. So imagine you're old, you're ready to pass on or whatever, and you got a bunch of old photos of you and your family, and maybe your family doesn't want them, and maybe you don't have any more family, they're all dead. You donate them to the museum, and you kind of live on in the museum. Isn't that cool? I think that's a good idea. So that was a cool museum, and a really great talk. I had a lot of people show up. I had like 30 people showed up to that thing. And then yesterday I did the Marcus Hook PA Pirate Festival, which I've done now 2 years in a row. And it all celebrates everything pirate, so that's fun. And then That was in the park. Beautiful weather, by the way. Oh, such beautiful weather. And I'm actually going back to Marcus Hook on Thursday to do a talk at the museum, which is funny because I asked the guys at the museum when I did it the first time last year if you wanted to do a talk. And for whatever reason, I didn't get a hold of them until about like 5-6 months ago. And then they were like, oh, yeah, let's schedule it in September. I'm like, oh, I'm doing the Pirate Festival. We should schedule it near there. And they're like, oh, we can't. We have to schedule it on certain days. So I'm going right back to Marcus Hook. But it's not that far, so I'm not upset or anything. That's on Thursday. And then Wednesday, what am I doing? I'm doing something on Wednesday, too. So I got a lot of stuff going on. It's getting to... And then next month, 29 events in October. I couldn't get the 30th one yet. That still might happen. There's still some time. Might make some calls this week. I'd like to get it even 30. Because that just blows people's mind when I tell them I have that many events. I'm starting to book stuff for November now. And December. Which is really tough. Oh my God. It's so tough to book November, December now. Right after the pandemic, it was like gangbusters. People were scheduling all kinds of crazy things. I had the best, I guess it was last year. I had the best November, December. February and January were gangbusters too. Oh no, that was last year. So I guess it was 2 years ago. And man, this year it's a bit of a struggle. Bit of a struggle. And last year was kind of too. John Adams here. Evening. John, is my stream okay? Because... Thank God you're here. I was having technical difficulties at the beginning. Oh, try that to Steve's. So let me know if the stream looks fine or whatever. I think I set it up correctly. I'm sort of just flying in here by the seat of my pants. I literally just came in here, ate dinner. Seems fine. Okay, good. Thank you. Just ate dinner and sat down and turned it on and I was like, I'm having problems. But, yeah, I'm a little fried. So today I did the Pine Barrens Makers Fest. Man, that was a gangbuster of a show. That's out in the Pine Barrens. Of course, it was going to be good for me, but sometimes you don't know. There were a lot of people there. Oh, my God, the amount of people that are there. Finally, a show with a lot of people. I was like, some of the shows I've done recently, like, they're good shows, but, you know, I was like, where are the people? Like, we need some more people. Although Marcus Hook was pretty solid. But, like, man, the Pine Barrens Makers Fest was friggin' full of people. I mean, just full of people. And that was Sunday, and they told me Saturday was even better, and we had no Wi-Fi, so nobody could take any credit card transactions, which sucked, but everybody brought cash today, so it was all good. And so I did pretty good at that show. I'm definitely doing it next year. The guys who ran that show totally know what they're doing. I don't know what they did. They definitely advertised. But man, they got the people to come out. And they really had a nice staff. They had it organized. They had little signs for the booths. Like, not with your name, but with the numbers. But like they were made of wood. So like typically I go to these shows and sometimes they'll have just a piece of paper on the ground. With a rock on it with the number of the booth or something. Or they'll spray paint in the grass the booth numbers. But that was really nice because there were a lot of vendors at this thing, and then you could find anybody that way. Like, you know, if there's like a brochure and you're looking for somebody specifically, a vendor specifically, you can find them. But it was very dusty. And dry, thank God, but there was a lot of dust blowing around, so I'm a little congested. But it was a great day. Sold a lot of books. Needed to do that. I need to order more books. Crazily enough, I just ordered books, and I probably have to order some more on top of the ones I already ordered, which I think are coming like tomorrow or Tuesday. Yeah, I think they're coming tomorrow or Tuesday, which is great too because I'm like out of books. I'm out of like 4 different books. So, great weekend. Psyched. What else happened? A bunch of personal stuff I can't get into, but it was fine. It was fine. Fine in the end. It was a little bit of a drama, but I was like, it all worked out. John Adams. Good problem to have. I know, right? Finally, I had that. Like, August was a little light. And, like, even the shows I did were a little lighter than normal. Good shows, but, like, I didn't do as well as I normally do. And then, on top of that, like, I didn't have a show one weekend for some reason. I don't know. I just couldn't get anything. And, once in a while that happens. But it's weird. Like, today, I could have done, like, 5 different shows this weekend. It was ridiculous. And I booked the Marcus Hook one months ago, not realizing. But there was a show in Salem. There was the Pine Barrens Makers Fest, which I could have done both days. There was Marcus Hook. And there were a bunch of little ones. So, I don't know. I guess it's the weather. It just all came together, or, you know, I don't know. I don't know why it was this weekend, but friggin' gangbusters. Next weekend, I got some stuff going on, but like one of these other shows could have moved like a week or something. So, just trying to relax. I don't want to start just yet because let's give it like 2 or 3 minutes because the numbers. Joan is having a rough weekend because I wasn't here. And, you know, she likes to go on a WALK. And she didn't look. She can't spell yet. And I took her on a really good WALK on Friday. Like, I really just took her out and said, walk wherever you want, dog. I'm down for it. And then I think it was Thursday, she was so insistent on having a WALK, and it was super late, and I got back from my girlfriend's kind of late. I think it was Thursday, one of the days. It was just super late, and I was super tired. And I was like, oh, Joan, please. JEC is here. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome. But it was 1:30 a.m. And finally I said, screw it. She's not going to settle down unless I take her for a WALK. So I went around my neighborhood at 1:30 in the morning with Joan. Thankfully, there was no barking involved. But there is this one house where the woman likes to sleep with her window open on the second floor. And she has a dog. And somehow that dog always knows when Joan is walking past the house. I guess it's because Joan's jingling with her dog collar or whatever. And dogs are very, you know, they got good hearing and smell. So the dog goes nuts like at 1:30 in the morning, and I felt bad because I just wanted to walk by quietly. And then, of course, Joan starts barking, and then it sets off a chain reaction in the neighborhood. Any dog that hears, I can hear the dogs inside people's houses barking. And I'm just like, crap, man. I feel bad. Somehow that doesn't work in my house. Like, Joan does not get set off very easily when a dog walks past the house. She just doesn't. She used to, I guess, when she was younger, but I don't know if it's my house. I can't really hear too much outside. Like, the dog practically has to be on top of us for us to hear it. But, man, in these other houses, the walls must be paper thin because I can hear their dog in the house barking at Joan. Going nuts. It's crazy. But weather's been great here in South Jersey. Very temperate now. High 70s, low 80s. Low humidity. So, really nice. Not too much rain. A couple of days of rain here and there, but nothing crazy. What else is going on? That's about it. What are we at here? We're at 7. People are coming in. And of course, this is Hollywoke Hot Take Live. Oh, there's Ardent. Hi, Ardent. Working now, eh? How is ye? Matey? Ye is fine. I went to the Pirate Festival, as I stated. Yeah, so... ye is fine. How's everything with ye? Ardent, hope ye is well. I was doing a lot of pirate talk. Well, not pirate talk, but talking about pirates at the show today, because book 14 is all about pirates. And that's really picking up. People are really digging that book 14 now. At first, I was a little worried that people weren't getting into the whole pirate vibe, but yeah, people get into it. And now I'm doing the mafia one, and I had the same worry, but now today I sold a bunch of them. So, but I was selling everything, and of course, here it begins. People are now messaging me and calling me in the middle of my live stream every time. Ardent, you know the pirate alphabet? A, E, I, O, yar. Yes, and I saw the pirate. People were all dressed as pirates at the pirate festival, and I was saying good morning to people, and then a guy dressed as a pirate walked by, and I went good morning, and I went, oh no, I mean yar. He laughed. He didn't laugh in a pirate laugh, though. I was disappointed. All right, let's get into it. Into the numbers. Numbers are kind of interesting. Not shocking. But interesting. John Adams is here. I read an interesting pirate book a few years back, The Invisible Hook. It's about the economics of pirates. Huh. The Invisible Hook. That's funny, because like the invisible hand. Interesting. Well, there was I mean, when pirating was big, man, I assume there was a bit of a economy there that, and then suddenly it ended. Like in the late 1720s, they were just like, no more pirates, please. Ardent, there is at least one pirate in my family. Sounds interesting, John. One pirate, eh? Well, I don't know. I was going to make a joke, but I can't think of a good pirate pun. I'm too fried from sitting out in the sun all day. Do you mean like in your ancestry, or do you mean like currently there's a pirate? There's current pirates today. There are guys who pirate you. Oh, yeah. They'll pirate the hell out of you if you let them. JEC, LOL, they didn't say please. The pirates? Well, not seriously. They might say it ironically, like, please give me your booty. So, anyhow, checking the box office here. Beetlejuice is number one again in its third week. Ardent, yeah, ancestry. I've got no Somalians in my family. Ha! Or Somalis. Beetlejuice, 26 million. I can wait for this on streaming. I just can. JC, no, the folks that shut them down. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. Joan, what are you barking at? Are you already out for the live stream? All right. Everybody say goodbye to Joan. There's little Joan. Not going to listen to her huff and puff behind me. So Beetlejuice is at 329 million. Is this enough to make money? Yes, it is. So you could probably get a third movie here. I don't know. That doesn't seem that good. I mean, 200 to break even. 300 definitely makes money, but not hearing a lot of exciting things about this movie. I think it coasts mainly on nostalgia. I think a lot of people just went to go see it, you know. Even, like, I almost went to go see it just blind and say, maybe it's not that bad. I mean, some people thought it was okay. I don't know. I hear Michael Keaton's really good at it, but, like, the rest of the screen time's kind of nowhere. Ardent, Joan has decided she's too good for us. Yeah. But, I don't know. Maybe we'll get a third movie, I guess. I don't know. Number 2 is Transformers 1, 25 million. So this came up short. I don't. Again, I don't understand the idea where Hollywood says, "Ooh, let's do a cartoon. Ooh, let's hire the most expensive people in Hollywood to do the voices, and no one will see them." So, like, why even have Chris Hemsworth do the voice of one? I think he does Optimus. Like, who cares? Who cares? Optimus Prime, the guy who really does it, has one of the most iconic voices in cartoons. I get it. He's kind of up there, but I mean, it's just squeezing more money out of this thing. And it sounded kind of woke anyway. Transformers woke. 39 million. It's not a great start actually, but so you figure like 20, 10, 5, 2, and done. So yeah, doesn't seem like a great start for a movie. What did it cost? I gotta think it cost 100 million because it's a cartoon. Why don't you scroll down? It doesn't say, which is a sure sign that it cost more than what it made so far. Ardent. Oof. I have no intention of watching TF1, but I expected it to do better. Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't because the premise just looked like one of the episodes that was already done because I remember that episode. And if you're not going to bring in the Transformers fan base along with the new fan base, what's the point of this? I mean, why it's like when you redid the Wrath of Khan and the new Star Trek movies, like that was pointless. JC, I think the original voice actor is dead. Oh, did he die? Did Optimus Prime die? Ardent, I was thinking that. I didn't know Optimus Prime is dead. Voice of Optimus Prime. Peter Cullen. Is he dead? No, he's still alive. Still alive, according to Wikipedia. 41, he was born, so it puts him at 83. I mean, he might be retired. Ardent, yeah, I was expecting nostalgia and parents to bump it. Ardent, Peter something. JC, is it the same guy who did the Tony the Tiger? Oh, maybe. Let's see. Transformers. He did Eeyore and Winnie the Pooh. Monterey Jack and Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Car in Knight Rider. And the vocalizations in Predator. Doesn't say Tony the Tiger. Let's scroll down. Yeah, it doesn't say. Got a lot of credits, though. Let's see. Voice of Tony the Tiger. Doing a lot of voice work. Indie Phantom is here. Late but here. Welcome. Oh my God. What kind of name is this? Thurl Ravenscroft. This is the most awesome name I've ever heard. Oh my God. Thurl Ravenscroft. Holy cow. Oh, and he's dead. He was 91 when he died in 2005. Ardent. LOL. That is some serious range. Eeyore and Optimus. Low, Indy, says Ardent. Thurl Ravenscroft. Hello, I am Thurl Ravenscroft. Spy. JC, never mind. Indie Phantom. Howdy, Ardent. Wow, I can't get over that name. Thurl. What kind of name is Thurl? Wow. He was from Nebraska. Thurl Arthur Ravenscroft. Jesus. And he was born in 1914. Ardent. That is almost as badass name as Chad Thundersea. I don't want to say that on the live stream. All right. So, yeah, Transformers off to a slow start. Speak No Evil. Indie Phantom. I knew a Ravenscroft in high school. JC. Steal that name for a character in a book. That'd be a cool name for a character in D&D. It is I, Thurl Ravenscroft, come to save you, princess. Ardent. Thurl, probably German? Possibly. Definitely like Germanic, I would say. So Speak No Evil drops 48%, so that's not bad. It's got a bit little legs. 42 million, but I don't think this was a incredibly expensive movie. No, it only cost 15 million. So this is money. This is money right here. So this is already money. Although this is a remake, apparently, of a foreign film. Drops from 2 to 3. I don't know. I don't really like the look of it all that much. It looks fine. Like, maybe I'd watch it on streaming, but it seems more of like a, I don't know, feels like more of like a Twilight Zone show or a TV movie. Just about a guy who just takes everything too far, who's crazy. JC, be a good pirate. Oh, yeah. Yar, Thurl's Ravenscroft. Captain Ravenscroft's, yeah, he'd be a great pirate. So, yeah, Speak No Evil. I mean, I guess it's all right. McAvoy's pretty good. But that's pretty good. I mean, just in general. Number 4, premiering at 4, is Never Let Go. This looks like the stupidest movie ever made. And that's saying something. This has a dumb effing premise to me. 4.5 million. No idea what it cost. And that's just domestic. So the premise of this movie is this. And this is what I got from the trailer. Halle Berry has 2 sons. I think they're her sons. And they're getting to be like teenagers. And they're trapped in this house for reasons I don't understand that aren't explained in the trailer. And the rule of thumb is this. You can leave the house, but you have to be tied to it by some sort of rope. So if you're not, you can be grabbed and kidnapped by some supernatural force in the forest or something. So they tie themselves to the house. Like when they leave the house, there's like a rope dangling around their waist that goes and follows them. And they can only go so far away from the house, and they have to get back by nightfall, or else the horrible creatures will get them. Something like that. I don't really understand it. It's stupid. It's a stupid premise. Like blatantly stupid to me. Like, there's no good explanation for why they have to do this rope thing. None. You could make up a whole new monster. It still wouldn't make any sense to me. You could say it's some sort of metaphor for something. I don't really get it. It's dumb. The whole thing is dumb. But it's, I assume, 90 minutes of some sort of drama where one of the kids, I don't know, his rope breaks and he gets kidnapped by the monsters or something like that. I don't know. It's like, it's a dumb premise. But they made this movie for God knows how many millions of dollars. It's such a contrivance, too. Like, it's such a, something that's so forced on you. It's not like a bank robber movie. You know, I mean, some guys rob a bank. That can happen. It's never going to happen that you have to be tied to your house by a rope and you're trapped in it, and you could leave and go in the woods to forage for food, but you have to go back to the house every night because of the rope or because of the thing or whatever. Indie Phantom. Yeah, sounds silly. I don't know who greenlit this thing. I want to fire so many people in Hollywood. I just want to fire them. I want to fire them, and I want to yell at them and tell them how stupid they are. You're so stupid. You greenlit Never Let Go. Why did you do that? And I want to hear some explanation. And probably be more like, I don't know. I don't know why I did it. I don't know. Halle Berry was in it. What was I supposed to do? Say no. Say no, Halle. We'll get you a better script than this. I mean, she's a decent enough actress. Although, maybe she picked the script. I mean, she picked the Catwoman script, so. Just can't seem to pick good scripts after a certain point. Is it. Maybe it's this. Maybe the people who run Hollywood, you know, the evil people who run Hollywood, you know who I mean. You get to a point in your career and they basically tell you, okay, you can either do these horrible things, which we will videotape and then own you forever, and your career will continue to skyrocket, or you can not do them, and then you're going to be in the worst movies ever. That's what it seems to be sometimes. Like, she's been in the worst movies ever. Like, since a certain point. It's like, does she just pick bad scripts? Or is this like the only scripts they greenlight? Oh, that's a terrible script. Yeah, let's greenlight that for her. She wouldn't do the horrible things we were going to videotape. Maybe. But then, I mean, doesn't she have enough money to just say, well, I can't get any more good scripts. I think I'm just going to retire. Like, why not just do that? Why not just take your own money and make a movie? Make something for $2 million and then sell it for $8 million and make a fortune. Don the Second is here. Is Wolf's with Brad Pitt any good? Variety didn't even like it, so I would say no. They called it boring, and they already greenlit a second movie with those two. Don the Second, yeah, it's leverage against the elites, LOL. Maybe. But, like, if they got no leverage on her, why even do these movies? Why not go to the Daily Wire and do one of their movies? Maybe she just owes too much money? I don't know. Lives a highfalutin life? I don't know. When you're worth... God, how much is she worth? She's got to be worth a lot. I'm going to say $40 million. Conservatively. $90 million. Don the Second. Wow. Are there any good movies out right now? Not really. Let's see. Beetlejuice. Not sounding great. Transformers 1. Did not look good at all. Speak Though Evil. Never Let Go. Looks stupid as F. Deadpool and Wolverine. But I think at this point, we all saw it. Dropped from 3 to 5 this week. Finally starting to go out of theaters. This was a beast. Beast and a half in its 9th week. Still doing $3.9 million. Indie Phantom. Another bomb for Looney Clooney. Number 6, The Substance. Now, I'm hearing some interesting buzz on The Substance, but I don't know if I trust it because there's a lot of film festival buzz. But they're saying this movie was pretty wild. But then Chris Gore, I think, over at Film Threat said it's messed up. Like, it's a messed up movie. So, this might be worth seeing. I don't know. Demi Moore's in it. $3.1 million. And Demi Moore I still would bang Demi Moore. I mean, I got a girlfriend now. I can't do that, but I mean, yeah. But then again, she's like in my age range, so you guys are probably like, oh my God, that old woman? Nah, she's still hot. Indie Phantom, people liking The Substance. Yeah, I think it might be okay. I think it might be interesting. Don the Second, I wish there was some genuine cinema I could watch. I felt Deadpool was worth the money. Yeah. I wouldn't call it cinema. But Deadpool and Wolverine was fun. The Substance might be good. I kind of want to see it now. Indie Phantom, Margaret Qualley, also hot as F. Oh, right. She plays like young Demi, right? Because that's the whole point of the movie. The Substance makes her super young and she becomes like way hot again. Even hotter than she was in real life. Like, Demi Moore was smoking hot back in the day. Like, don't get me wrong. But she was kind of angry and kind of didn't show off her goods as much as she did when she got older, which is a shame because she was pretty much a smoke show, but she was covered up. Yeah. So yeah, Margaret Qualley. Don the Second. My theater has Am I Racist and a Trump documentary, but I'd rather just watch you. LOL. Thanks, Don. Yeah, Martin Scorsese would kill me for saying that. Well, Martin Scorsese should shut up and go see Megalopolis, which I think is going to be at least watchable. I want badly for Megalopolis to do well. I really do. So I'm going to have to try to make a point of going to see it the weekend it opens, but that's going to be tough for me because I'm like busy every friggin' weekend now. So maybe I'll catch it on a Monday right after or something. Number 7, Am I Racist? Dropping from 4 to 7. Still doing well, 2.5 million. This is a huge hit, by the way, for the Daily Wire. I mean, this is just a gigantic hit. It probably cost nothing to shoot. 9 million. I bet this thing barely cost $1 million, if that. Yeah, it dropped 44%. That totally has legs. They put it in more theaters, but it's only in 1,600 theaters. If this thing was in every theater, like Beetlejuice, what would it do? God, it would probably be number 3. And it's pretty damn good. I mean, I've been picking at it for various reasons. I mean, like, it's a good way to get some hits. But no, I did the trailer analysis, I did the review, and then I just did another one-off video where I clarified my thoughts on how I thought he maybe could have kicked up the comedy a little bit. But I mean, I genuinely enjoyed it. So, but I kind of wanted to see him just push a couple of things a little further. But yeah, there's no way this movie cost more than 2 million. I would be shocked if it did. So I would expect several more movies like this from Matt Walsh because of that. They're cheap to shoot. A documentary like this, dirt cheap to shoot. Even though he was throwing money to all those people in the movie, it ain't much. That ain't much in a movie budget, really. Don the Second. Surprising that movies like that are getting exposure now. I think it's because there's nothing out there, right? It's so bad. And like a lot of the B movies, they just don't get into theaters. Like, they're not even considered anymore. There's a bunch of B action movies that back in the day, they would have been in a theater. I mean, some of them have name talent in it. I can't think of one off the top of my head. There was one with Frank Grillo that looked pretty decent. I can't even think of it. But, you know, and desperately we need comedies. Oh my God, we need comedies. They're finally coming out with one comedy with like a bunch of big names in it. But, you know, a guy like who's doing stand-up now is the popular stand-up guy is Matt Rife. Like, back in the day, he would have already been in like 2 or 3 movies, comedy movies. Plus, you had a bunch of guys who were in the pipeline before. They're just not making comedy movies anymore. It sucks. Don the Second. Yeah, man, Hollywood is beyond cooked. I agree. Indie Phantom. Yeah, timing was great because theaters are needy. Yeah. And that's the thing about Am I Racist? It's funny as hell. Oh, man. Towards the end, it gets so funny. The Uncle Frank bit is my favorite part. Don the Second, none of the movies out right now speak to the times we are living in. That's a big part of it, too. And you can't do comedy unless you're doing that, kind of. I mean, you have to speak to reality, and these people want to live in a reality. I mean, how many times have I looked at a trailer for, like, a movie shot in Seattle, Portland, New York, and, like, it looks great? The streets are clean. People are walking around, having a good time. As if there weren't homeless people everywhere in these cities? How about San Francisco and LA? Like, they make it look like, oh, everything's fine. Like, what happened to that? There's your movie. Make a movie where there's actual homeless people. So many homeless people in the street, it's disgusting. And then at least it would be a real movie. Like, how about a chase scene down a street in, like, San Francisco where there's so many homeless people in tents, and, like, the bad guys running through the tents and disturbing the homeless guy, and the guy chasing him is like, he's got to push away the homeless people to get at him. Yeah, that would be realistic, but they're never going to do that. JC, because they shot those movies in Toronto. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's true. That's true, too. That's very true, JC. They shoot movies in Canada and change the signs. Like in Canada, and I've been to Toronto a few times. Twice. They have different sections of the city, and they all have different street signs. So like Greektown has Greek and English things. They usually have French. Like English and French is like a staple in Canada, and then if you're in Greektown, they might add Greek. Or if you're in, Vietnamese town, they might add Vietnamese. And so what they do to make it look like New York is they go up to Canada, they take down all the street signs, they put up New York looking street signs, shoot the scenes, and then switch them all back. So if you can imagine. But I don't even know if it's cheap to shoot in Canada anymore. You can't do that in Romania, unfortunately, for Hollywood. That's another town. That's another country they go to shoot in because it's cheap. And in Romania, they save money on the crew. In Canada, they might save money on the tax breaks because the government will actually pay you money to go shoot there in the form of a tax break, but you have to hire Canadian talent and crew and stuff. Indie Phantom. Toronto sucks too, but can't double for the U.S. accurately. Yeah, but people are so used to it because it's way too expensive to shoot in New York. But they got the Universal set too. That looks like a city in New York, kind of, like from 50 years ago. JC, yeah, Trudeau made every government sign to be in French and English, not current Trudeau, the old English. They all suck, the Trudeau family. What a bunch of wackos. Is he ready to go yet? He just was at the UN spouting nonsense. God, I can't stand Trudeau. JC, yes, the tax breaks and the US dollar goes further. Yeah, they try to give tax breaks here in certain states, but the city's like its own state here. JC, the old Trudeau. All right, after Am I Racist, we got Reagan, still doing well, 1.6 million in its fourth week. That ain't bad. Dropping from 5 to 8. Oh, there it is. So, this movie it cost 25 million. It's at 26.5 million. It's not really money yet, but it'll probably just sort of squeak into a break even at least. I don't think they spent a ton of money promoting it. Ardent, he's on with Colbert tomorrow night, apparently. Oh, dear God. God, will Colbert be able to stop licking his crotch for 10 seconds to actually ask Trudeau a question? God. I find Stephen Colbert now absolutely vile. I mean, the drop-off from him when he was criticizing Bush, and he did such a great job criticizing Bush back in the day, but he's done equally a bad job criticizing anybody who's a Democrat. He absolutely will not criticize them. It drives me insane. JC, his party might kick him out as leader. There's some rumbles about that. Ooh, good. Will that help? Or will they just put up another a-hole? Indie Phantom. Dennis Quaid in 2 of the top 10 in 2024. Oh, what else is he in? He's in... Oh, right. He's in The Substance. That's right. I think he plays Demi Moore's agent or manager. I forgot about that. That's weird that he's in that movie, too, because he looks like he's playing a much crazier satirical character, and then he's playing Ronald Reagan, very sort of straightforward. So it's like 2 ends of the spectrum. But good on him. Getting lots of work. Number 9. What the hell is this movie? Jungkook. I Am Still. It's Jungkook. 1.4 million. I don't know what this movie is. Jungkook. I Am Still. Okay. I don't know what this is. Let's see if it's on the IMDb. What is this called again? I already forgot the name. Is it Jung? Oh, yeah. Jungkook. Oh, those are all names. I Am Still. There it is. Is this like a bio thing? Jungkook invites viewers on a journey showcasing his rise to stardom. What? Creative process, work ethic, and challenges as a global icon with unseen footage, interviews, and electrifying performances. Okay, Kook. JC, they'll put up someone worse, but the guy they're talking about swapping him out with is even more unlikable. No charisma. No good. Maybe they'll crush him at the polls. Don the Second, it's a K-pop singer. LOL. Oh. Indie Phantom. Quaid replaced Ray Liotta in The Substance. Oh, wow. That would have been interesting. That would have been a weird role for Ray Liotta, come to think of it. That's not Ray's normal MO. He's normally like, you know, hey, how you doing? Kind of guy. Jungkook. Wow. How's this making so much money in the States? 8.6 million for essentially a bio movie or documentary about a K-pop singer. That's pretty good. Probably didn't cost him much. Weird. Numbers 10, dropping from 7, Alien Romulus. This is in its 6th week. Yeah, it made its money. Yeah, this is money. 341 million worldwide. They're going to make more. JC, they're already being crushed in the polls, down by 20 points. Oh, okay. Thought you were talking about Ray Liotta for a minute there. I'm like, what is Ray Liotta running for? He's dead. Oh, right. I'm glad Trudeau's party may be out as well. Got such a weird system over in Canada. The moment you get Polier, the first thing you should push for is a process by which to remove your premier where he is completely uninvolved in his own removal. Like, it has to be a completely independent from him, and it can't be someone he appointed. That's my understanding, is the person Trudeau appointed is the only person that can start the process of removing him. Otherwise, I think he probably would have been removed. You need an impeachment process, like at least something close to what we have here. I don't know what you could have because you have a parliamentary procedure. Maybe some sort of majority vote in your parliament. So you only have one house, right? Yeah. Yeah, like some kind of parliamentary thing where, like, I don't know, 75, like over 65% of the vote is a yes, and you kick them out. JC, we have that, but the other left-leaning party is in bed with the liberals. Ugh. God forbid the lefties here take over. We're all freaking doomed. Number 11. is The Forge, dropping from 9 to 11. This movie is a religious movie, doing surprisingly well. Although, what did it cost? Yeah, I don't think it cost much. I don't recognize any of the actors, and it doesn't seem like a high-end movie. 26 million. I think that's doing pretty well. Number 12, dropping from 8. It Ends With Us, $1 million. So this did pretty good. This made money. Again, Colleen Hoover, very popular amongst the ladies reading books. So that should continue. They should be making more of her books. I would greenlight that, and I wouldn't read any of her books. But judging by the, I'm on book Twitter all day long, promoting the Pineys. So on book Twitter, there's a lot of women who read Colleen Hoover and recommend her. Now, there's some women they've been recommended so many times they actually kind of hate Colleen Hoover, but I don't think that speaks to the quality of her books. So I think it's, kind of like a phenomenon, the Colleen Hoover thing. So I would totally greenlight that. Dropping from 6 to 13, The Killer's Game. Which one was this? Killer's Game. Oh, this is Dave Bautista. Yeah, this doesn't look great. It's only done 5 million. And what week are we in for this? It's in its second week. Ooh, it dropped 63%. That's no good. That's no good. JEC, conservatives tried to push for a vote of no confidence, which would force an election this week, but the NDP flip-flopped on backing Trudeau. I heard the Quebecians were out on the outs with him, and I thought that was a big deal, but I don't know the exact voting totals in that, or the Quebecians just a minor party. Glad to see Dave Bautista's movies. Now, I kind of don't like Dave. I've soured on Dave Bautista. I loved him in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Now I find him really annoying, and his TDS does not help. Number 14, dropping from 11, Despicable Me is still in theaters in its 12th week. Wow, 3 months. It's like a lifetime now in movie terms. $650,000, so that movie's gangbusters. JC, yeah, The Bloc, French Party, back Trudeau too. Son of a bitch. Frenchy idiots. I could say that. I'm in America. Come get me, Frenchies. Indie Phantom, happy that Matt Walsh creamed Bautista. Yeah. Yeah, my friend, I have a friend who used to live in Montreal, and he described some of the Quebecians as, if you can imagine white trash that speak French, and I was like, I cannot imagine that. I have a pretty good imagination, but I cannot imagine white trash people speaking French. That's just so weird to me. JC, with the current polls, the Bloc would be the party with the second most seats, and the Liberals would be in 4th place. Huh. Okay. So you got to get the Frenchies on board. Surprised they're not on board, but then again, they sort of invented communism their own weird way. Invented socialism, I guess you'd say. Number 16 is My Old Ass, which is Aubrey Plaza, whose ass is pretty good. I don't know why she would say that. This is in its second week, and they're trying to game the system, I think, by putting it in more theaters on the second week to make it look like it's a hot movie on the rise. It's from Amazon. I really have no interest in this, even though Aubrey Plaza is in it. It's basically about a girl in college who meets an older version of herself, and they have a conversation. JC, yeah, that sounds about right about the French. You don't need the French. Conservatives would have a majority. Just need an election. Oh, let's get to that election ASAP. Number 17. Inside Out 2, still in theaters in its 15th week. $144,000. It's just about done. Although I did see someone in an Inside Out 2 t-shirt today. After that, The Critic. This movie went nowhere fast. And it has Ian McKellen in it. So I kind of feel bad for the guy, but I mean, it looked fine enough. Again, another movie that would have done better in the 90s about some nasty critic. Hasn't even cracked a mill. Oofa. Ardent. CND politics is very different from U.S. The Bloc is a separatist party. Quebec is a whiny child that threatens to F off if they don't get their way. It's enough to make Bill Paxton cry. Also, you have the Cajuns. Oh yeah, we have Cajuns, but they're not. They just make a lot of good food. Indie Phantom. French Canadians were the first woke people I knew. Interesting. Ardent. Ironically, those are Canadian rejects. JC. They're going to hang on for dear life for another year. They have to have one in November 2025. Oh man. That's like us here in Jersey. We got to wait until next year to get rid of our stupid governor. And then we might get a Republican because our Democratic governor, Phil Murphy, tyrant overlord Phil Murphy, cannot run again. And he's pretty unpopular. And so we have a chance to take it back from the Dems. Plus, they're effing up all the schools. JEC, they're going to hang... Oh, I read that one. Ardent at Indie Fandom. I think some parts of Ontario might have gone woke first. Number, I don't know, 16, 17, 18, 19 is A Different Man. Some new movie. I don't know this one. I don't know what this is. A Different Man. Oh, wait, maybe this is a synopsis? Aspiring actor Edward undergoes a radical medical procedure to drastically transform his appearance, but his new dream face quickly turns into a nightmare as he loses out on the role he was born to play and becomes obsessed with reclaiming what was lost. Oh, that's weird. Very strange. Indie Phantom. Ardent, everyone I know seems bloody woke here now. Next is The Front Room. This movie, this one stars Monique. Wow, they took it out of 1,500 theaters. This movie dropped like a rock. Jesus. 2.9 million? Whew. Woo. I bet this thing cost more than 2.9 million. I don't think it costs much, but I bet it costs more than that. I would say it would have to cost at least 5. JC, all the hippie draft dodgers ran to Canada to get out of going to Nam is the problem, really. Yeah, sorry about that. We sent all our pacifists to you guys. Then there's this movie Diddy. Not that Diddy. The something in anime. I don't know. In its 9th week, somehow it's still in theaters. Faith of Angels in its 2nd week. Dropped by 40%, but it's only in 30 theaters, so I don't know if you could judge anything. Sing Sing is still in theaters. Please just remove this from theaters. It's the 11th week now of making very little money. Strange Darling still hanging on in its 5th week. Tokyo Cowboy in its 4th week. That didn't look too bad. It looks pretty standard. And then 2 new films. In the Summers. What is this? I have no idea what this is. Siblings Violetta and Eva live in California with their mother. But every summer they travel to Las Cruces, New Mexico, to spend time with their loving but unpredictable father, Vincente. Over the course of 4 formative summers that span adolescence to early adulthood, Violet and Eva learn to appreciate their father as a person, his flaws and limitations inseparable from his passion and tenderness. Lovers come and go. The backyard ghost is seed, but the idea of home remains naughty and elusive. You lost me on that one. I was about halfway through. I was like, oh, okay. And then it kind of, what? um, Arden at Indie Phantom, you should join me on my quest to gain Tennessee residency and U.S. citizenship at JEC. Yeah, and because the stoner class is in Montreal. Indie Phantom, bad timing on Diddy. Yes. And Happy Clothes, a film about Patricia Fields. This sounds like a documentary. Enter the colorful world of Emmy-winning, Oscar-nominated Patricia Fields, savvy retailer, costume designer behind Sex and the City, Emily in Paris, Ugly Betty, and The Devil Wears Prada. Oh, man. I bet the women out in Hollywood love this woman. A queer, first-generation Greek-American. Who cares? The fiery redhead defied the odds to become a fashion icon. Features interviews with Kim Cattrall, Lily Collins, Sarah Jessica Parker, Michael Urine, and Vanessa Williams, and more. And more. That's enough. That's enough to make me want to jump out the window. And no way I'm seeing that movie. JC, no idea what you just said. No idea what you're referring to. Are you talking about the synopsis for In the Summers? Yeah, because I didn't really get it either. Happy Clothes. God, that is the most girl movie I've ever heard. It's so girly. God. I think only Tim Walsh could, as a man, sustain watching it. By the end, he'd have a vagina. JC, that movie description. Yeah, I was confused about it too. All right, 80 million for the box office this week. Not great. Not great. So things are cooling off on the box office. Not doing very well. New. Kind of wondering if The Substance is gonna go up next weekend. That would be interesting. Maybe they'll put it in more theaters and it'll actually go up. It's possible. It's possible. But I don't know. I don't hear too many people talking about it. But the people I hear talking about it like it. So that might be one to see. I mean, if you're like in the Hollywood stuff. Like I kind of dig the whole Hollywood scene and want to see a satire about Hollywood. So that's about it, really. I mean, none of this looks great. That's like the only movie, other than Am I Racist and maybe Reagan. I hear Reagan's actually pretty good, but I lived through the Reagan era. I have no interest in seeing that. Because I'll just be watching it going, yeah, that's kind of the way it happened. Yeah, there's nothing really here. There's nothing in movies, man. My girlfriend loves movies, and I'm so happy to be dating someone who loves movies, but I'm so picky with movies now. She goes, find us a movie to watch. And then it's a 20 to 30 minute process of me going through, no. I hate this director. I hate this actress. I hate this person. And then finally, I find something. But man, it is a long road to find halfway decent movies, even with all the stuff on streaming. And she has more streaming stuff than I do. She has Hulu, Netflix, and one other. There's stuff on YouTube, though. The nice thing is I can show her movies that I really like that she never saw. So, I made her watch Repo Man the other day. That was great. I love Repo Man so much. And she thought it was okay. But it wasn't like her cup of tea, I think. But, oh man, Repo Man, that's a movie. There's very few movies I could watch more than once, but definitely Repo Man, Animal House, The Blues Brothers, North by Northwest, maybe one or two others, but yeah, it's a great film. All right, let's get into the trades. Oh my God. Oh my God. Marvel's new X-Men comics are thick with woke propaganda. Shocker. Look at this. Look at this explosion of gay on the cover. Ugh. Tom Brevoort editor for X-Men, warned readers, and now Marvel Comics has characters ruined by LGBTQ insanity. Ugh. Why? Why do this? It is like fanfic. JC, love Repo Man. Indie Phantom, still haven't seen Repo Man. Oh, you gotta see it. It's on YouTube. And you can watch it for free with commercials. So that's not bad. That's not a bad deal. Ardent, Big Trouble in Little China. Yes. Yes. I'm going to make her watch that next. Went out of my head as I was typing. Oh, yeah. Big Trouble in Little China. Oh, yeah. JC at Indie Fandom. It's great. You should check it out. Ardent, is that Quicksilver? He was married with kids. That green guy in the middle, I don't think that's Quicksilver. No. Oh, wait a minute. That guy looks like Quicksilver. It might be him. Who's the guy he's hugging? I don't know these characters anymore. The artwork is so terrible. Oh, and look at it. They included... Here's a relationship over here on the left that, as far as I could tell from this picture, isn't gay, but it's included because, guess what, everybody? It's interracial. And these people are so twisted, they include that in the LGBTQIA2S+++ flag now. And so now, even a straight relationship between a black, what appears to be a black man and a blonde woman who's white is now considered somehow gay? Is it politically gay? Marvel? Probably. That's the way they would say it. Ardent. Oh, Remo Williams. No hugging Hercules. Indie. Yeah, I will watch it. If you like punk music, you'll love it. Look how many gay characters are in this scene. Are these actual gay characters in Marvel Comics today? How many more have they created since I dipped out of Marvel? Jesus. Ardent, I remember back in the 90s when they made Nostra from Alpha Flight gay, they gave him AIDS for PR points. Ah, they gave him AIDS? I don't remember that. But he was gay. Wasn't he originally gay when they introduced him? Or like he was revealed to be gay after a short time after his appearance? Or did they turn him gay later as a thing? I thought he was created gay. This is bizarre. Who's this idiot with a... What is he wearing? Why is this considered, like, important in gayness? To be shirtless with, like, I don't know, some leather straps on his chest. Is that important to being gay? How is that important? Unbelievable. And didn't Marvel create... Yeah, Marvel had a whole... Or what was it, DC? Oh, actually, I think it was DC. Or was it Marvel? I don't know. One of the companies created an entire trans team of superheroes. I don't see any of those characters on this thing here. Ardent. I think he was revealed not long after they started Alpha Flight comic. Not sure if he was created gay, but it kind of worked. Yeah, like it was... I thought it was relatively soon that they revealed that, but... I think that's Tony Stark and BDSM gear. No, that can't... No, come on. You're telling me they put that in the mix too? That's just bizarre. JC, just when you thought they couldn't make Captain Marvel less appealing to the actual comic reading demo, looks like Hercules. Hercules? Well, he was Greek. So maybe. I mean, that would scan. Ardent at JC, yeah, it's Herc. Oh, okay. That's not Hercules. Hercules has a beard. And he has red hair in the Marvel Comics universe. JC, that was North Star. It's all terrible. The artwork is terrible, by the way. Love is love. These people are nuts, I would say. Ardent, LOL, the Italian throwing shade at the Greeks. Come on. The Greeks. Oh, is there more gay stuff as I scroll down? Oh, God. I hope they're not gay now. So there's more gay stuff here. What the hell is this? Dazzler #1 came out a couple of weeks later. So Dazzler is gay. I don't know who this is. That's weird. Whatever it is. Here's somebody saying, how about you tell a good story and stop shoving the message down our throats? Tom Breeveport, it's X-Men. The message is the premise. That's absolutely not true. But good luck with having no sales soon. Indie Phantom. Hercules is in the MCU. Yeah. No, he's got red hair. In the 80s he did. Ardent. Artist and boy lovers? I don't know. Indie Phantom, question mark. Ardent, Indie Phantom, he's in the comics, not been in the movies yet. Yeah, I don't think they're going to put Hercules in the movies, but JC, I got a ride to a comic shop signing with the guy who wrote Dazzler, LOL. Soon? I don't know. I just got to get there's just too much gayness. Oh, what's going on here? Sargon of Akkad lays the smackdown on woke Warhammer 40K influencer who attacks Space Marine 2 fans. Yeah, the woke people in Warhammer really, man, they're really gunning for masculinity, aren't they? Yeah, that's the thing about masculinity. You can't really kill it. You could try, ladies. But you can't really do anything about it, because ultimately we just prevail, and then we become even sexier. Masculinity. Indie Phantom, with a name like Dazzler, I called it. Ardent, Dazzler was a disco queen. She was definitely a straight chick too. Yeah. Indie Phantom, Arnie. Amy was Hercules in New York City. Oh, Arnie was Hercules in New York City. That is true. Ardent. Games Workshop has decided to hate their core demographic. Ain't that the truth? This is more suicidal than switching Star Wars to a female brand. So, goodbye to Warhammer. I would suggest all Warhammer fans immediately start making their own version of the game, because it's not that hard. Change all the names, change all the logos, and you're basically done. You can change the game system a little bit. You can even fix it. Indie Phantom, oh, never heard of Dazzler, but I loathe Marvel. Ardent, damn you for reminding me of terrible movie at Indie Phantom. Mike Barron's Nexus picked up by Alien Books for comic shop distribution. Oh, that's great. I love Mike Barron. He's good. If you haven't read Mike Barron, you should. Creator of Nexus. So good on him. So Nexus is coming out in comic book stores. He is also the creator of The Badger, which that's my favorite. What else has he worked on? God, he worked on a lot of things over the years. He did a great run on The Flash. He did Hardcore for Valiant. Gosh, he's got one other. I can't think of it off the top of my head. He does Florida Man, which is pretty funny. He does something called The Blue Line, which I read. JC, my idea is make your own Warhammer, but have print out of their own figures with 3D printers. Yeah. Indie Phantom, LOL, Ardent. Ardent, was Badger a Malibu comic? No, it was a first comic. So these were out in the 80s, first comics, highly recommend. It was Badger, Nexus, Grimjack, awesome, love Grimjack. American Flag, Grimjack was written by John Ostrander, and American Flag was done by Howard Chaykin. And I picked up almost the entire run for $5 at a con. And let me tell you, it was the best $5 ever spent. JC, I mean, Diamond will take anyone now that Marvel and DC dropped them as their distributors. Baron's Punisher run was big. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He also did the one where the Punisher becomes black. It was a Black Like Me kind of thing, only it was the Punisher. I forget how he becomes black. I guess he takes pills or something. And oh, it was funny. It was funny. Yeah. JC, Tim Truman drew Grimjack. Yes, for a lot of the run. He was really good. And I forget the other artist, but he's good too. Yeah, Truman though. Whew. He's great. God, I love that comic. It has a 50 issue, I think it's 50 or like 48 callback, which was just blew me away. Doctor Who, if you give it rat's S about this, Doctor Who doubled down on diversity push with Big Finish, Fugitive Doctor production, and season 2 Indian female villain announcements. So you think the X-Men's woke? Holy crap, they've absolutely eviscerated Doctor Who. So this was and then they do like a radio version of the show where the Doctor has already been replaced by a strong black empowered female for reasons I don't quite understand. Indie Phantom, Punisher donned blackface, basically. So if you want to see the wokest thing ever, check out Doctor Who sometimes, because it is beyond woke. It is like hilariously woke. It's so bad. Like, as an old school Doctor Who fan, like, I was already upset about relatively new Doctor Who, but like this is just, it's beyond destruction. This is like digging up the corpse after you shot a dude because you hated him and humiliated him. After he's been dead for like 6 weeks, you dig up the corpse and then you just like beat it with a baseball bat. That's how bad this show is now. Ardent, they made a brown woman a bad guy? Brave. JEC, I'm down for Indian villains. They've had a past too long. Yeah, well, look at the Doctor though. He looks like a JCPenney fashion model, and he's about as interesting. And the show is turned into a musical show, and like the science, forget the science. They threw the science right out the window. It makes zero sense scientifically. Like, this used to be, when you used to do science fiction, part of the deal was you had to hire somebody to write it who knew something about science. And what they would do is they would base the plot on actual science and sort of taking it to the nth degree, right? So like in Star Trek, the idea of the transporters were played with, and it was based on something that hopefully in the future could be achieved. And there's some scientific basis for it, although it's not 100%, but there's at least an inkling of science in it. Like, there's not even an inkling of science anymore. There's just gayness everywhere. JC, looks like a metrosexual Dolomite. Oh, this is the gay. He's gay. No, the Doctor's gay now. He's gay, he's black, and like they push that in your face at every opportunity. And the character is just god awful. Like he's not really like, it would be different if he was black and gay and he was actually the Doctor. Then you'd be like, well, this isn't really what I wanted. It's kind of stupid, but to make this change for no reason. But at least you're getting Doctor Who stories. You're not even getting Doctor Who stories. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Like, I don't know who this is supposed to appeal to. I don't know who's watching it. The ratings are at historic lows. This show has been on the air for 60 years, and the ratings are the lowest they've been in 60 years. Like, that is the entire history of television 60 years ago, just about. Like, 60 years ago would have been 1964. Most people didn't even have a television in 1964, and if they did, it was black and white. So if you can imagine. And they watched it because they just came out of the radio era not too long before that. and they sat around and watched TV as a family, and still in 64. Doctor is supposed to be an alien who doesn't have sexual urges. Well, that was never a factor in the show, really, other than he had a female companion at one point when Tom Baker was the Doctor. And he actually married, the actor actually married the female actress who was on the show, I think. And, they were considered like the couple in that sci-fi world. And now it's just like, what? What are you doing? But, yeah, this show is just, they're really destroying it. More on Space Marines. Oh, this week, I gotta talk about this too. In case you missed it. So, like, every actress, and I think they're all actresses except for one gay guy, who's in Agatha all along, all came out bragging how gay the show is. Like, openly bragging, oh, this is the gayest show in the MCU. And there's only one reason at this point why they would even bother to do this. It's because they know there'll be a pushback, and immediately they could turn around and say, well, the show failed because, the bigots. Look at all the bigotry. Like, literally no one cares about this character. And it's a shame because Catherine Hahn, who's the star, is actually very funny. I'm a huge fan. She was in a bunch of stuff before and was very funny, but like this show, it's brutal. It's brutally bad. Every scene I've seen from it is just, I don't know why you would. Who is still paying for Disney? Are you paying for, is anyone on my stream paying for Disney? Please let me openly chastise you if you're paying for Disney Plus at this point. Indie Phantom, looks like a bad time to start tuning into Doctor Who. I tried the show once years ago, but too goofy and British for me. JC, only way to get people to talk about this show is RPE bait. Perhaps. Indie Phantom, I heard Agatha is on alkalite levels of bad. Disney dumped it like a hot potato. Potato icon. Nice. JC, I hear the show isn't terrible, but it's a show literally made for wine-ons. Yeah, there's like singing in it at random parts. So it's just weird how these very female-centric shows will just suddenly have characters burst in the song, and they think, oh yeah, that'll be fun. like even in shows that were aimed at women, people didn't burst out in the song in the middle of the show just for, hey, let's have a song here. It's like they don't care what kind of getting bored with this. Let's have a song here. Ardent, LOL, hell no. I might pick Prime back up, but that's mostly for the Amazon shipping side. JC, rage bait. I guess. I don't see what that does though. Like, what does the rage bait do? I mean, sure, okay, you got me talking about it, but like, does anybody here have Disney Prime? Zebek's Demise. Forget Agatha. When do we get a Piney show? Well, the moment AI can do an entire movie from beginning to end, probably. JC, all the lead characters are old menopausal women. Except for Aubrey Plaza. She looks great in it. She still looks good, but yeah, she doubled down on the gay stuff in her interview too. Indie Phantom, haven't ever paid for Disney, including theatrical. Mind you, I steal mostly everything from Hollywood. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm sure you're just making a joke. He's just making a joke, YouTube, and authorities listening. Ardent, there's no such thing as bad publicity, and hate watching is still clicks. How many people could be hate watching it, though, at this point? Indie Phantom, should say I stopped going to Disney a few years back upon extreme wokeness. Yeah, I just don't understand. I mean, even people today, I was talking to people at the show, and I was talking about Hollywoke, another novel, and I kept mentioning how, like, my friend worked for Disney, and I got some of the inside scoop on Disney, and it inspired some of the book. And it's like, they all said the same thing. Oh, Disney. Like, who would pay for Disney Plus now? Like, yeah. So, I mean, you could say maybe that's just my audience, but I don't think so. I mean, maybe it's South Jersey. They're a little more red down here, but I just don't understand why people have Disney Plus. Like, I get why you might have gotten it in the beginning, right? Like, in the beginning, you got Disney Plus, you could watch all the Marvel movies. Okay. But after you binge watch them for a month or two, you got to be sick of them. Like, okay, yeah, I watched all the Avengers movies. All right, let's watch them again. And then after that, you got to be like, okay. Plus, you could, like, you could record them, right? Can't you just tape them right off of Disney Plus and put them on burn them onto a DVD or a Blu-ray that you can watch at any time? Can people do that? Can't you still do that? JC, Aubrey is just the villain, barely in it. Oh, really? Indie Phantom, I was kidding. I love to support Hollywoke. That is sad. Aubrey is in Megalopolis, though, and she's pretty scantily clad in that, so it's another reason to go see Megalopolis, I think. All right. Whew, Phantom Pulse really digging deep this week. Oh, right. What is going on here? Janet Jackson's apology not authorized. Well, there was some controversy with her. Indie Phantom, I did hate watch Obi-Wan. Was everything I hoped it would be. Princess Leia did it all when she was a youngin'. Reps for Janet Jackson tell Variety that an apology from the singer's comments about VP Kamala Harris's racial background was made by a person who is not her manager, as he had claimed. Oh, okay. So why would you report on that? Janet Jackson apparently called out Kamala Harris for suddenly being black. Indie Phantom, Aubrey looks sexy when she wants to. Yeah. Yeah, she looks really good in this movie directed by, oh, God. Guy Ritchie. What the hell was it called? It was about this team. It had Jason Statham was the lead spy, and Aubrey's in it as like a cast of characters. It was called like Ruse de Guerre or something. It had like 2 titles, and the second title was Ruse de Guerre or something. Oh, and the guy from The Princess Bride was in it. She looked good in that. She also looked good in that movie with Adam Devine, where her and another girl, they hook up with Adam Devine and his friend because they need dates for a wedding or something. But it's part of a scam. They're trying to scam him or something. But she was wearing bikinis in that one. It looked really great. Indie Phantom, was Kamala Harris on The Masked Singer? Would be a great meme, having her pull off the mask and started cackling. No, not yet, but I bet she will be in The Masked Singer. Give it 2 years. I could 100% see her being in The Masked Singer after she's, God willing, kicked off the political stage forever. I could see her writing a book, telling about how everybody's racist who didn't vote for her, and then after that, a year goes by, and then she's on The Masked Singer. And exactly what you're saying would probably happen. Indie Phantom, oh yeah, she was smoking and trashy in that wedding flick. Yeah. Yeah. Questlove, remember him? To direct Earth, Wind, and Fire documentary. Well, that'll be interesting. I mean, he's a musician, so I could see that. He might have some insight into that. Indie Phantom, she will get a talk show. I don't know. She can't sustain a conversation. I think she could pull off The Masked Singer because she don't have to talk much in that. But man, if she has to talk to people, that sounds like a disaster. I would love to see it, though. Don't get me wrong. That would probably rival Steven Seagal in his reality show, which we were talking about earlier this week. Steven Seagal is the most hilarious I've ever seen him on that reality show where he pretends to be a cop. If you haven't seen that show, it's the greatest show ever made. JC, I saw a blurb that was a leak that Kamala and Diddy were in a sexual relationship before the stream started. Before this stream started? I didn't see that one. Well, she was the eye candy for Montel Williams, so that's possible. It's very possible. Wow, that would be something. They probably got some dirt on her then. Indie Phantom, but talking isn't her strong suit. First guess, Hillary. Indie Phantom, yeah, Seagal show is brilliant. I can only imagine what that would be like. Like, Kamala would just come in, introduce Hillary, and then Hillary would talk for the solid hour, and then she would laugh intermittently, and then eventually just end the show laughing. All right, just briefly, we'll get into this. I don't want to go too deep into the rabbit hole, but Kamala challenged Donald Trump to the CNN debate in October. Trump says it's too late. Now, her deal is she needs that debate because that's her only shot at getting to Trump at this point. And she kind of thought she won the first debate, and in her defense, a lot of people who agreed with her kind of thought, oh, Trump didn't do too well this time. But after about 4 days, it all turned around. It was so weird. By the end of that 4 days, almost everybody agreed in retrospect that Trump had demolished her in the debate. Somehow. It was like a Hemingway moment, like from the Pineys. Like, his luck is just off the charts. Like, everybody came out of the debate, and myself included, saying, well, he didn't do as good as I thought he would, but, you know, Kamala kind of almost did okay. Nope. Now, a few days later, it was like, nope, she sucks. It's amazing. JC, I would have just dropped this afternoon. It would have just dropped this afternoon. Huh. Carter Chain is here. I watched every season of the Steven Seagal show. It's great. You can stream it for free. Ooh, awesome. He just pulls over, guys. Yeah, we're going to pull over this guy. I think we're going to search his car. Yeah, we're going to search his car. And if he has any weapons, we're going to take those weapons away. Because we got to make the streets safe. He has no idea. You can just tell every word coming out of his mouth is like, he's never been a cop in his life. He doesn't know what he's saying. He got told something right before they started shooting. Yeah, we're going to pull over this guy and we're going to search his car for weapons because he's a suspect. Okay. All right, roll the camera. Okay, we're about to pull over this guy and we're going to search his car for weapons because he's a suspect. And what that means is he might be committing a crime. I can't do Steven Seagal. I wish I could. God, that would be an amazing impersonation. Indie Phantom, I need to go on a Seagal marathon again. He is a guilty pleasure in human form. The best thing about Seagal, too, was his contracts when he made a movie. So his contract would actually state stuff like, Steven has to get the girl in the movie. He has to kick a guy in the head in one scene. He has to, like, punch a guy in the face in another scene. He has to shoot a guy. Like, certain things he couldn't do, certain things he had to do. Like, in this contract, they would micromanage the plot. And he had to do, like, 10 different things that he does in every single movie. It was hilarious. JC, it was so obvious that the people hosting the debate were ganging up on Trump. Yeah, it was. But, like, it didn't hit because Kamala didn't do that bad. So at first we were all like, how did Trump not crush her? But then after a few days, it was like the polls came out and everybody just agreed, yeah, she sucks. Indie Phantom, love Seagal, speaks to them in their accent. I'm going to talk to this man in his native tongue. In his native accent. JC, I have to watch a bunch of Steven Seagal and see if I can get that imitation down. I think I could do it if I listened to him enough. JC, also, they were fighting tooth and nail to deny that Haitians were eating pets, but even Snopes had to come out and confirm this is true. Oh, Snopes confirmed it? Oh, cool. I'll have to send that to a friend of mine. I had a friend, I got into a bit of an argument. It wasn't really an argument, but he didn't believe the cat's Haitian story. So I said, no, they're eating the cats. They're Haitian, and they do this stuff. I said, I'll send you a bunch of links. He said, oh, yeah, send me those links. Like, very skeptical. So I sent him the links, but he still didn't believe it. He said it wasn't, they weren't official sources, so therefore he didn't believe it. But, like, the whole point of my argument with him was the official sources lie to you. But it's hard to convince people of stuff. Carter Chain, stream idea. We need to have ranked the best Seagal movies. Okay. Well, we have a theme for next week. We will be ranking the Steven Seagal movies top to bottom. All right? We'll be going through every Steven Seagal movie and possibly TV show if I can find a list for that. JC, I have watched a documentary where they showed people in Haiti eating literal dirt cookies. Why is eating pets so far-fetched? Yeah, they're starving people. I don't blame them for eating whatever they can get their hands on, by the way. But, like, you know, I think it's terrible to eat someone's pet. I think if it has a collar on it, you should leave it alone. I mean, if they ate a bunch of feral cats that were out in the woods, I wouldn't eat them, but I'd be like, well, by the way, I just saw a wicked short video on Twitter of a mountain lion that came to this woman's house, and she had the door shut, and she was looking at it through the window, and then behind it, you could see that it's killed their cat. And then it eventually gets frustrated and leaves, and it picks up the cat as it's leaving because it's going to go eat the cat. It was very sad. Indie Phantom. Yes for Seagal ranking. I wonder how we're going to do that. Well, I'll just rank them, and you guys could decide whether or not to agree with me. Alex Ogle. The Vive and Barnes law stream just ended with discussion of the actual evidence of the pet eating going on. Oh, what was their conclusion? Did they have a final conclusion? Did they come to the conclusion it was happening? My hope is within the next month, it will come out decisively that this is happening, so I could send my friend the link and then watch him, like, see if he can wiggle his way out of that. JC, notice how they dropped talking about the Haitians eating pets this week magically? Yeah, because it's gonna, I assume it's gonna come out. Look, every time Trump drops one of these bombs, the reaction happens at the same time. The media says, oh, it's not happening, he's crazy. And then, like, a few days later, it's like, well, it happened in an isolated case, but it's still crazy, and Trump's still racist. And then, like, a few weeks later, like, more evidence comes out, and then it's like, well, that's not quite the same thing, and it's probably a good idea because we should open ourselves up to new cuisine. And then it's like, oh yeah, it's happening, but you're a racist for noticing. JC, I don't think we ever sat through a whole Seagal. I don't think I've ever sat through a whole Seagal movie. Well, you don't really have to. You could zoom through the boring parts, where he's not kicking people, but or where he's trying to put together the plot that makes very little sense. But probably the best one is that one on the aircraft carrier where he's the cook. I like that one. That's my favorite. I think that's my favorite. I forget what it's called now. It's Under Siege. Is that Under Siege? Alex Ogle. What a week. I finally got around to watching Star 80. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I was going to try to watch it this week, but I couldn't find it, and I forgot about it. About the Dorothy Stratton murder, and there was a seedy journalist in there. Then I watched Back to School, and there was a dirty Lothario. Both characters played by one man. Our favorite hologramic doctor, Robert Picardo. Wow, really? Huh. I didn't know he was in Star 80. Oh, interesting. And he was in Back to School, huh? Huh. That must have been when he had hair. Probably look like a completely different dude. Robert Picardo blew up last week. His TDS went off the charts. It drove him right off a cliff. Ardent, hey Alex, at Tony. Yeah, Under Siege. Erica Elaniak comes topless out of a cake. Oh yeah, that's the one. And Tommy Lee Jones as a great villain. Tommy Lee Jones? Oh, that's right. He's a villain in that? I kind of don't remember that. I guess that was before he got big. Oh, boy. Let's see. What else is going on here? Donald Trump calls Bill Maher, my ex-boss, a befuddled mess. Slams bimbo Stephanie Ruhle after MSNBC host appearance on Real Time. Indie Phantom. The early theatrical Seagal flicks from Warner Brothers are excellent. Hard to Kill. I remember that one. Out for Justice. I remember that. Above the Law. I think I remember that. Marked for Death. And then Under Siege and Under Siege 2. I didn't see 2. I remember seeing 1, but not 2. I think the only one I saw was Under Siege and one of the other ones. Indie Phantom. Yeah, Under Siege was the same director as The Fugitive 1 year earlier. Oh. Janet Jackson's apology for ill-informed comments about Kamala Harris was not authorized. Look, people in California know that Kamala Harris ran as an Indian senator when she ran for senator. She touted her Indian heritage, and now she only touts her black heritage. That's a bit misleading and very disingenuous. She touted her ethnicity when it was convenient for her, because that's what politicians do. Alex Ogle, Viva and Barnes concluded with the city manager confessing to the council that he had anecdotal evidence from people telling him the council refused to believe unless he named the names and showed evidence. Yeah, it was ridiculous. And I showed that clip to my friend, and he just dismissed it. JC, what? She's Indian. Well, she keeps saying she's black. Now she says she's black, and she keeps doing black voice all of a sudden. Indie Phantom, Marked for Death has the most non-PC villain ever, the drug lord Screwface. I don't remember that. Alex Ogle, Under Siege should be remade with Sydney Sweeney. I'll get started on the script. Thank God. Thank God someone said it. Every week, your suggestions get better and better, Alex. Another girl you got to add to the mix, though, is this chick from a new movie called Here Now. Indie Phantom was commented on it earlier. I did the trailer reaction. I forget her name, but man, she looks like Amber Heard when Amber Heard was a smoke show. Super smoking hot. This chick should go right to the top. Check out Here Now. Not because it's a good movie, but man, this chick is smoking, and she's in a bikini for most of it, or at least the first half. Indie Phantom. Eric Elaniak was one of the hot chicks whose career tanked when she demanded to be taken seriously, and the movie was Bordello of Blood. Carter Jane at Alex Ogle. I'll help you. Oh, you got an assistant now. Over at Bounding into Comics. In celebration of its 10th anniversary, Bandai Namco announces remastered for the PS Vita defining action RPG Freedom Wars. I don't remember that one. I don't know if you followed this video game news. So there's this game called Concord that failed in like 2 weeks. Indie Phantom, yeah, she is why I will see that movie Here Now. Alex Ogle, I don't think she's naked in it, by the way. This isn't the 80s, man. If it was the 80s, oh, you'd be guarantee that chick would be naked in the movie at some point. Like, completely naked. Like Bush. But no, not now. Alex Ogle at Carter Chain, you get started on the scene where she burst out of the cake. All right, so this Concord game failed in like 2 weeks. They had to refund everybody's money. So this developer alleged that the game cost $400 million to make. Wow. That's an amazing number if that's true. Can you imagine Sony lost $400 million and shut the game down? Just refunded all the money and said, okay, we just got to just shut it off. They must have been losing a fortune because it's like one of those games you play online. So they need to have servers up and running to, you know, take care of the traffic. But it must have cost them so much money. They must have just been losing money left and right. Like it wasn't, they had so few people on the servers, you couldn't even justify the servers. That's amazing. I don't know what they're going to put in its place, quite frankly. But I guess it was just cheaper to turn everything off. That just blows me away, that number, 400 million. And there's all sorts of drama if you're interested in the Concord thing. David Gordon Green knows he cheated the audience with the Halloween Ends. I don't think we were on the journey I was excited about taking. I don't care. That is not a movie that I would have greenlit. No way. I would have been like, why? Why do you keep doing this movie? It's the same damn movie. JC, it was originally 200 million, but it was broken 8 months out from the release. They doubled the budget trying to get it to work. God dang it. That's a lot of money. Alex Ogle, DEI costs money with all the advice required. That expertise doesn't come cheap. Apparently not. We all saw that in Am I Racist? Indie Phantom, I am amazed at the budgets for these games. I thought they were just made by Rooms of Geeks and computers. Yeah, me too. But apparently you need a bunch of pink-haired women yelling at you too. And they don't take no for an answer. And they cost a lot of money. There was one bright spot this week, if you could call it that. Amid TV series backlash, Netflix tapped into nostalgia by bringing back the iconic Geralt voice actor for The Witcher in the animated movie. So they actually brought back the original actor who did the voice in the video game to be in the animated movie, which is a good move, but God, they ruined this show too. I don't know who wants to see it. The whole IP is ruined thanks to you idiots firing Henry Cavill over trying to actually be good to the source material. JEC, apparently the credits in Concord is an hour and a half long. There's where the money went. Jesus. Who would watch that? Why would you even put the credits on the game? Oh, Batman got a star in Hollywood this week, by the way. If you can believe that. A fictional character now, a person that doesn't exist, has a star on the Walk of Fame honoring him. And the first one is Batman. Because that makes sense. Alex Ogle at Indie Phantom. Manic Miner was written by a schoolboy in his bedroom. Showed that the ZX Spectrum could do sound at the same time as gameplay. Thought impossible. Interesting. Tell me the story of how they invented Crazy Climber. Remember that game? Oh, that was a good game. If you hadn't played Crazy Climber, that was one of the best arcade games ever. Because you had to pump like these two joysticks to climb up the building, or you had to like make them go side to side. So the little guy would go up the building, or you had to go sideways. And then they would drop flower pots on you, and birds would take craps on you. Oh, it's a great game. JC, they've given characters stars before. Who got a star before Batman? They said he was the first guy. What, did King Kong get a star? Oh, I have to look this up. Characters with stars on the Walk of Fame. Oh, there's a lot of them. Okay, Alvin and the Chipmunks. Well, that one I understand because it was one guy doing all the voices, essentially. J.C. Simpsons, I think. Others too. Yeah, there's a lot of them here. Charlie Brooker's one-off TV show, Screen Wipe, critiquing computer games. Graham Lineham was interviewed saying the modern games are written by people who only watch movies and have never read a book. Wow. R2-D2 and C-3PO, says Indie Phantom. Well, let's take a look here. So we got Alvin and the Chipmunks. I understand that one because it's one guy doing all the voices, and like it's sort of like honoring him, and it was a big deal. Big Bird? No, I don't really get that one. Bugs Bunny. What? Why would you give it to Bugs Bunny? Like, didn't they already give one to Mel Blanc? Donald Duck, Kermit the Frog. Yeah, these are unnecessary. Godzilla. Maybe that. Pee Wee Herman. But the Paul Rubens, I assume, has one. Makes no sense. Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, the Munchkins. The Munchkins? The Muppets. Well, Kermit already has one. Ugh, so redundant. Winnie the Pooh. Rugrats. Okay, Rugrats absolutely do not deserve a star on the Walk of Fame. Okay, I draw the line there. No. Sorry, 90s kids. Rugrats, no. Shrek, maybe. The Simpsons, it's been on TV a long time. I guess maybe. But literally, I think everybody who does the voices is already on the Walk of Fame. Or should be. Snoopy. I mean, that one, at least you're honoring Charles Schultz, who probably wouldn't get one on his own. Snow White. That makes no sense. Tinkerbell, Woody Woodpecker. Actor and their character. Clayton Moore, the Lone Ranger. Is that all in one thing? Doesn't make any sense. Live action animals. Corporate entities. Now that's ridiculous. So, Disneyland and Chevrolet Suburban have their own stars on the Walk of Fame. That makes no sense. JC, no, Pee-wee got it and not Paul. It was before the stuff in the theater ruined his career. Oh. Rugrats is a $1 billion franchise. I don't care. No one's going to remember Rugrats 50 years from now. I didn't even remember it until I read that. I mean, is Rugrats worth... How much is Rugrats? $1 billion? I'm going to try to see if I can find out. I don't think it is. Maybe? I don't think it's worth $1 billion. I'm just going to say it. I mean, it probably did pretty well, but there's a movie and there was a run on the TV and some other movies, but I don't think it was $1 billion. Ionisys. I recently, maybe if you had the toys. Ionisys. I recently saw the British paranormal horror movie Oddity. Not bad at all. Oh, really? That's interesting. I didn't know what to make of that from the trailer. It looked so odd, and I was like, what the hell is this about? So I kind of couldn't figure it out. So I was a bit on the fence. Huh. JC, they're still making Rugrats shows. I don't know. I don't think it's $1 billion, though. It might be approaching that. I find it hard to believe it would be $1 billion. Excuse me. Where the hell was I now? They made like 4 Rugrats movies. They all made $500 million each. Really? Wow. Okay. Indie Phantom. Is Weinstein on the Walk of Shame? That's a good question. I doubt he would be. I don't think he was. If he was, they'd remove it. Oh, I typed in walk of farm by mistake. Oh, he is on there. It looks like. It says here, Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, no plans to remove Walk of Fame stars amid sexual misconduct scandals. There's Kevin Spacey. Well, he got off, so you can understand why they couldn't remove his, or wouldn't. Let's see. There's Bill Cosby. It was vandalized. Brett Ratner was accused. I didn't even see that one. President Trump has got a star. I mean, why shouldn't it be... Why shouldn't he have a star? He was on a hit show. He's one of the biggest celebrities out there now. I don't see Harvey on this one. Did I miss it? Huh. JC, they wouldn't have removed his star if he was. Harvey Weinstein casting couch statue appears on Hollywood Walk of Fame. Figured appeared days before the Oscars are due to take place in Los Angeles. Oh, man. That's pretty funny. Good for you, whoever installed that. There's a piece of art. There's a piece of real performance art. Good for you. Huh. Alex Ogle. Sydney Sweeney should have a boob print under her star if she gets one. However, they might need mining permits to carve out the necessary space in cordons to stop pedestrians falling in. No, what she should have is she should smash her boobs into the concrete at the Man's Chinese Theater, because that's what they used to do there. Right? They would do footprints, then they did handprints, but then if a star was famous for something, like Bob Hope pushed his nose into the cement, I think, because he was famous for his nose to some extent, or I think maybe Jimmy Durante did, or one of those guys. I think she should push her boobs into the concrete. Ionisys, Kevin Spacey, from the top to the bottom. I don't know, he's still got a career, somehow. JC, Googled how much money has the Rugrats franchise made, and it says it made $7.4 billion. Wow. Wow. I stand corrected. JC, suck it, Banksy. Yeah, Banksy this week. What did he put out? He put out a piece. It was Paddington Bear. It said, I don't know, something about migrants being cool. It was sad to see. It was very sad. Sad to see such a pathetic display of supporting the status quo from Banksy. All right, so Hollywood Reporter. Scandal cast to reunite for Kamala Harris Reproductive Freedom Bus Tour. What? Who the F cares? I thought this show was still on the air. You mean it's off the air? Is it done? JC, Rugrats was huge in the 90s. I guess so. It made $7.4 billion. I am shocked. Who the hell cares about... next you're going to tell me Scandal is a $1 billion franchise. Oh, this is sad. Adam Scott to appear in Michigan as part of Kamala Harris's Reproductive Freedom Bus Tour. I liked Adam Scott. Now I know he's on the other team. It's sad. It's sad to watch all these celebrities. Like, if you were a celebrity, assuming you weren't being blackmailed by you-know-who, you would just say, you know what? It's probably a good time to stay out of politics. Just thinking. You know, when your agent calls you and go, "Oh, guess what? I got you a seat on the Kamala bus tour to help reproductive women's rights," or whatever. And you just go, "No. No, I don't think I'm doing that." "Why? This is a good time. Oh, it's good exposure. Oh, they're going to interview you on Good Morning America, and you could talk about how you love women's reproductive freedoms by murdering their own children at all the way up until 9 months." And I'm not anti-abortion. I think abortion should be legal. But I think there should be limits on it. Jesus, ladies, calm down. And most of the world does about, the limit's about 12 to 14 weeks, something like that, 12 to 15. Seems reasonable. After that, you just have the kid and have it adopted. You don't have to keep it. No one's saying you have to keep it. I mean, you have to be responsible. So, I mean, and then there are a bunch of carved out exceptions, of course, for people who have terrible things have happened to them. But Jesus, if you're not going to be responsible, if you're not going to take the time to take contraception, and you're not going to monitor your own situation, you're going to wait till you're 6 months in going, I don't think I'm just fat. Yeah, I think you're just going to have to make other arrangements. I don't see a problem with that. I really don't. But, yeah, they're making it a big issue. JC, yeah, I unfollowed Banksy on Insta when he posted a video dressed as migrants crowd surfing at it. A video, people dressed as migrants crowd surfing at a music festival in a raft. It was so cringe. Oh, weird. JC, I can't kill my baby. Ionisys, I agree with your view on abortion. I mean, that's what most people think. Excuse me. Nose is running like crazy. Most people they're there. You know, I was a young guy. I was petrified I'd knock up some girl. I was more petrified of not getting laid, but I was also petrified of knocking up some girl and then having to be stuck. But fortunately, I used contraception and kind of didn't bang everything that moved. So there's that. Ardent, if you get to 6 months and still think you might just be fat, you shouldn't be allowed to reproduce on grounds of low intelligence. Yeah. JC, Pierre Poliver was born to an unwed teen mother. That's why he has a French name, but looks like an Irishman. Oh. Barack Obama, Kevin Costner, and Kate Winslet among star-studded history talk speakers. I don't care about that. John Mulvaney and Olivia Munn, I can't believe he's married to Olivia Munn, announced arrival of second child. How does this guy keep getting work? That's what I don't understand. John Mulvaney, like, he's okay in stand-up, but man, his TV shows have been god-awful to me. Like, his sitcom was unwatchable. It was an abomination of television. Compared to, and I'm talking about TV today. This was not too long ago. I watched it before, I don't know, I stopped watching TV. It was awful. It was god-awful. Like, right there, I would have been like, well, we can't give this guy a TV show anymore. Maybe a comedy special. But Jesus, he just keeps getting work. I don't get it. Ardent, LOL. And he's married to Olivia Munn, who's a hot piece still. And they're having a second kid. Good for her. Good for him, I guess. But how does he keep getting work? Ardent, with a good writer, I think Mulvaney might make a good Deadpool. I disagree. JC, he had one good comedy special, but his vibe doesn't translate to being a leading man. Not at all. Maybe about, Second Banana, maybe. Like, he was good in the Nick Kroll show. I missed the Nick Kroll show, by the way. I used to watch that. Too Much Tuna was funny. I enjoyed Too Much Tuna, but you know, that was mostly, I think, Nick Kroll. But holy F, he just keeps getting work. Bravo to his agent, by the way. Let's see. There's nothing here interesting at all. Bleeding Fool. John Landis made Burke and Hare, huh? I might have to go back and see that movie. Although, it got terrible ratings. Seems like John Landis, his movies are either effing brilliant or unbelievably terrible. And one murdered a couple of people. JC, he could be a good supporting actor for sure, but he couldn't carry his own movie. No way. I wouldn't have any confidence in him carrying a movie. Just like Dave Bautista. Like, he was good as Dax, but everything else I've seen him in, it's like, holy F. Let's see. Something about Creed. Oh, this was something. So some professor wrote a comic book about January 6th, and it's like a fever dream in which, you know, the Trumpers took over Washington that day and installed some kind of, I don't know, they destroyed the world somehow. Somehow those grannies and unarmed people destroyed the White House and took over America, and no one could stop their racist tirades. And they hung a Confederate flag on top of the White House and put Trump back in power. Like, you want to talk about a fever dream? That is it, man. That is exactly an accurate headline in my view. Professor sends January 6th fever dream comic to public high schools. Public high schools are getting this. Let's see. Ardent, Plunkett and McCain was better. JC, Landis sucked after The Twilight Zone. Indie Phantom, Burke and Hare was unwatchable. Really? That's incredible. I can't believe the same guy who made Animal House made an unwatchable movie. It's just crazy. Ardent, had to be fever dream. Unarmed coup in the most armed country in the history of the world. Yeah. Yeah. JC sounds based. Alex Ogle, I was lamenting the paucity of good action movies these days. I watched Who Dare Wins, where Lewis Collins played an SAS captain taking on a terrorist group trying to set off a nuclear device. Was it good? Who Dares Wins. Oh, and Diddy, of course, was a big thing this week. So Diddy, all over the news. There was like a million friggin' articles about him and all the horrible things he did. All the people who maybe are connected to him. He is effed, man. He is trapped in prison. They ain't letting him out because they think he'll run. And I think he would. I think he would totally 100% run. I think the implication was when he raided his house, he got on a plane and they couldn't find him for a few days. I think they said, "Oh yeah, he's gonna run. We have to lock him down." I think they waited for him to come back to charge him. In fact, but yeah, he's just getting blasted all over them, all over. Let's see, New York Post. I bet the New York Post has another headline about him. Let's see. Talking about Tom Brady. No, I'm not seeing anything. Brothel selling sex across from 2 New York City elementary schools near infamous Market of Sweethearts, furious locals say. Yeah, I'm not seeing any Diddy headlines today. Oh, there we go. Diddy was here. Sean Diddy Combs filmed music video inside Hollywood mansion, now overtaken by squatters, abandoned by MLB team's owner's son. Weird. That's the closest thing we're getting to a Diddy headline. Man, there was stuff for days, and now there's nothing. Oh my God! Look, here's Lizzo losing the weight. Ugh, she's still not good. Keep losing weight. Alex Ogle. Anything with Lewis Collins is instantly fantastic because he always played the schoolboy's vision of a tough action man. Oh. JC. Diddy is pushing for a speedy trial and can't wait. They told him he was getting charged, so he came back. Alex Ogle. Viva and Barnes were also discussing Diddy. He is in the same prison as Epstein, and we can only speculate how long before he faces the same fate. Oh, what? Of not killing himself? Yeah. He's in trouble. JC, Diddy didn't kill himself, or did he? Ha! Ha! That's a good pun. Did you intend that to be a pun? Or did he? Get it? Ardent, random question. If you were to pick a new leading man for a series of westerns, who would you pick? Oh, wow. Series of westerns. Well, Steven Dorff has been in a few westerns recently. He's not bad. I would not pick Kevin Costner right now. I think he's already done way too much Western recently. I never really totally believe him in the role now. I don't know. Let's see. I need a tough guy. Western. Who would I pick for a Western role? Who's a good tough guy these days? I'm trying to think of somebody I've seen recently. Let's go to the IMDb. I'm just going to type in leading men. See if they give me a list. People. No. Let's try top leading men in Hollywood. 25 greatest male lead actors right now. Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio, maybe. He'd be okay. Christian Bale, he was pretty good in Train to Yuma. So he's not bad. Matthew McConaughey, he'd be good. He'd be good in the role because he's an actual American. And he's sort of already a cowboy in his demeanor. Robert Downey Jr. is good in anything. I wouldn't pick him particularly. Brad Pitt, same. He's good in everything, just about. Hugh Jackman, maybe. It wouldn't be my top pick. Bradley Cooper, no. No, he's too pretty. George Clooney, absolutely not. I can't stand George Clooney. It's a terrible person to put on the list just because I'm annoyed by him now. Matt Damon. I don't know. Maybe he could surprise me. He's not a bad actor. Mark Wahlberg, only if he changes his voice up. I don't think he could do it. He's got the look, but his voice, man. Hey, how you doing? How's your mother? I gotta shoot you now. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing, Billy the Kid? How's your mother? Michael Fassbender, no. Denzel Washington, if you're doing the black cowboy thing, maybe. Liam Neeson, no, he's wrong. Wrong for that. Russell Crowe, maybe as the fat sheriff. He does do a really good American accent. I will give him that. James Franco, he did play a cowboy in one movie, in that meme. I forget what movie it was. He'd be okay. Benedict Cumberbatch, no. Too English. Ben Affleck. Nah, I don't know. See, the problem with Ben Affleck is he's always better as a director. So, like in the movies he directs, he's really good. I think he's much better in the movies he directs. Like Argo, he's good in that. The bank robber movie, he's really good in that one. Every other movie I go, there's Ben Affleck. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he'd be all right. He's another guy who's pissing me off these days. He's about the right age. I don't know. He's not that tough. He doesn't do a lot of action stuff, but he's about right for it. Joaquin Phoenix, again, another guy who's always good in everything. Hold on, I missed a million comments. Ardent, good for her though. I shouted her out today. JC, F Kamala. I'm telling you, Diddy, you're referring to. They shut down the prison Epstein didn't kill himself in. He's in a worse prison in New York. Oh, did they shut that one down? Yeah, I've been using that line all week. Dorf, loved him in Blade and that superpower thing he did. Ionicus, I would pick Bill Burr. Nah, Bill Burr has the wrong voice. He could be maybe a supporting guy, but I wouldn't put him in as a lead. He's too much of a wise guy. He's got the wrong accent. Alex at Ardent, there'd have to be an older character, so I'd recommend Lovejoy himself, Ian McShane. Well, yeah, he was already great in Deadwood, right. JEC, they arrested him to shut him up about Kamala, but it backfired bigly. Yeah, well, I don't think he'll be able to say anything. Alex Ogle at Ionicus, I'd pick Bill Bailey. His offbeat comedy, musical chops, and West Country accent would fit right in. Not sure who Bill Bailey is. JC, Hugh Jackman is Australian. Yeah, but he could, like, the Australians could do usually pretty good American accents. Indie Phantom, Clooney is barely around now, thankfully. Yeah, I know. He just annoys me now. Ardent, Fassbender was good in Jonah Hex, although he played Irish in that. Hold on. Every time I am doing my live stream. Yeah, Fassbender is too foreign. He can't do it. Denzel was in the Magnificent Seven movie. Oh, was he? I didn't see that one. Ardent, Franco, hell no. He was already in a Western. JC, Ben is too limited. Yeah, he just... When he directs himself, though, he's better. Indie Phantom, this list shows how done Hollywood stars are. Yeah. Alex, for truly great Western lead, they'd have to resurrect Oliver Reed. JC, Levitt is like 4 feet tall. Of course, people were shooting shorter back then. Maybe Billy the Kid. Ardent, I'd go with Keanu Reeves. Honestly, he could play the stoic badass with Big Iron playing behind him. What about Taylor Kish? LOL, different kind of Western, Alex. Bailey, I mean. Keanu Reeves I could see, but he's got the wrong look, but they could kind of get past it, I think. I'd cast Dean Cain now, honestly. Not really a tough guy, though, but he could be like the sheriff. Tom Hanks, no, he's too old now. Ryan Gosling, he's too pretty. He could be like the singing cowboy. Ardent, I'd cast Dean Cain now, honestly. Ionicus, what about Guy Pearce? Ooh, Guy Pearce, that's an interesting choice. He's pretty grizzled. Ardent, Pierce isn't a bad choice. Yeah, Pierce would not be a bad choice at all. Tom Hardy. Again, Tom Hardy's good in anything. I think he hasn't... Has he done a Western yet? Ardent, Dean Cain looks the part now. JC, Dean Cain, too pretty. I don't know, I haven't seen him recently. Jake Gyllenhaal. Little too pretty, but he's not a bad actor. He'd be all right. Jeremy Renner. He'd be all right. Yeah, he'd be good. He's done some action. He's a little grizzled. James McAvoy. Maybe. Again, he's a little too English, but maybe. He could do an American accent pretty good. Ardent, he did a bootlegger movie, Hardy. Yeah, Hardy's just amazing. He's just one of those actors, man. Whew. That guy, I mean, he can almost carry the whole movie by himself. Some of these guys can. There's not a lot of older guys here. So, really, let's see. Here's the most popular contemporary actors in America. Morgan Freeman, too old. Samuel Jackson, too overexposed. Denzel Washington, maybe. Harrison Ford, too old. Keanu Reeves, maybe. Robert Downey Jr., always good in everything. Anthony Hopkins, too old. I'm sure he'd be in something. Bruce Willis, yeah, he'd be great. Bruce Willis would be great in a Western if he, hadn't suffered his terrible, tragic loss. Oh, let me look up Dean Cain, see what it looks like now, before I forget. Let's see. Let's try Dean Cain 2024. Sure we get a picture of him. I don't know. These look like... These look like old photos of him. Here, let's see. I mean... Is that him? Is this Dean Cain? Oh, he's got to have fake teeth in or something. Maybe he is in a Western. Look at him. He looks kind of grizzled in that. I mean, he looks a little pudge for it, but he could be a little pudge for it. Kane was on the Unsubscribed podcast a while back. He's roughed up and based AF. That is true. JC, Gyllenhaal was in a cowboy movie, remember? Breakback Mountain, LOL. Oh, right. I forgot about that movie. Yeah, you can't put him in another cowboy movie ever again. I forgot. No, Gyllenhaal is out. Gyllenhaal is out because immediately people will think of that movie and do edits. That is, yeah, he's completely out of cowboy movies forever. Alex, don't call James McAvoy English. He's Scotch. Scottish. Also, he'll never be anything other than Mr. Tumnus in The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Ardent, LOL. Indie Phantom. The bike rider sucked. Hardy just mumbled and broods. Ah, that's a shame. Ardent, love McAvoy and Wanted. JC, Michael J. Fox is on the list. I didn't even say. Well, it was just a list of popular actors. So, yeah, I mean, he can't do it. JC, that was JC. No grit to Dean Cain. JC, he looks the same as he always has. Yeah, kind of. Ardent, try Dean Cain. Unsubscribe. He should be in the thumbnail. Ionicus, what about Chris Cooper? Indie Phantom, Walter Goggins, maybe. That's an excellent choice, and he's already played a cowboy. Let me try Chris Cooper. I think you may be on something with Chris Cooper. Yeah, he's a little older, but he'd be a good, older cowboy. Yeah. Yeah, he could do it. He definitely has a voice for it. Walter Goggins. Goggins, yay. Yeah, says Ardent. But like Hardy, he's good no matter what. Yeah, but he's got a southern voice already. JC. J. Fox was 10. Jackie Chan, of course. Cannot. I mean, he could be in a Western. He was in a Western. He was in Shanghai Surprise. Is that what it was called? Or the Shanghai Express with Owen Wilson, where Owen Wilson is a cowboy and he's the guy from China. Yeah, he can't be a cowboy, but Alex Ogle, look, we're all thinking it, so I'll just say it. A modern Western needs to be a remake of Blazing Saddles with John Boyega. That wouldn't be bad. I bet he'd do it, too. What did he say? He said the sheriff is near. JC, Dean Cain was just in a trailer for Eric July. He looks the same, maybe 15 pounds heavier. JC, Goggins was in Django. Yeah, he's good in that. Shanghai Nights, that's it. Thank you. Ardent, what about Channing Tatum? I didn't like him in Hateful Eight. And they really tried to sleaze him up. And it did not go well, in my view. I didn't believe it for a second. He's too pretty. He's too pretty. He has no grit. At Alex Ogle, yes. Blazing Saddles would be fun. Who would be Gene Wilder? Oh boy, that you'd have to get somebody really friggin' amazing. Liam Neeson, no. Danny DeVito, no. Tom Hanks, no. Hugh Jackman, maybe. Steve Martin, no. Jack Nicholson, way too old. James Earl Jones is dead. Clint Eastwood, sadly, is way too old. Brad Pitt, maybe. And Matt Damon, maybe. JC, Channing is too pretty, and now he's too old to be a pretty boy either. Hey, he's still in pretty good shape, though. Ardent, what about, the guy who played Reacher in the series Richardson? Yeah, he could do it. He's almost too big, though, now. You know who he could be? Is Mongo in Blazing Saddles. He has to be Mongo in Blazing Saddles because he's a head taller than anybody. He'd absolutely be the most epic Mongo in history. Oh, man. I would pay big money. The moment AI can make movies, I'm recasting Blazing Saddles just to watch the Mongo scenes. Alex Ogle, where the white women at? From Blazing Saddles. JC, John Delaney as Gene Wilder? LOL? John Delaney? I don't know, man. He might be a little too old for that. I might get a John Delaney picture up. How do you spell John Delaney? That looks like the wrong John Delaney. Must have spelled it wrong. You mean Q, right? Isn't it Q from... Am I thinking of a different actor? No. John Delaney. Must be spelling it wrong. Ardent. LOL. Mongo like candy. Exactly. Candygram for Mongo. Alex. Ryan Reynolds in Wilder Row. There you go. So Ryan Reynolds and John Boyega. I could see that. Yep. Or Donald Glover in the what's the name role? JC, we were just talking about how he sucks. Who? Oh, you mean Mulvaney. John Mulvaney. Oh. Yeah, no, he would be terrible. Ardent. Cillian Murphy for a cowboy. He wouldn't be bad, and I imagine he'd probably do a decent American accent because most actors just can. Except, Americans are terrible at English accents, mostly. Except for Robert Downey Jr. His was pretty good. Here's 10 of the most iconic leading men of 2010s. Dwayne Johnson. He'd be an okay cowboy, but, you'd have to explain his deal. He'd have to be like, Latino or something. I don't know how you could explain his deal. Ardent, Donald Glover rubs me all the wrong ways. Stop letting him into your house. Damn it, I screwed that one up. Alex Ogle, Ardent, a good idea is a good idea. Oops, went too fast. Idris Elba, I mean, he did do a Western, but I got blasted for criticizing the trailer. It could have been good, but they messed it up in my view. Ardent, doth mother know you weareth her drapes? Alex Ogle, Jason Statham cannot do an American accent. His voice in The Beekeeper was atrocious. Really? I'm shocked. But yeah, I wouldn't cast him anyway. JC, he's too bi and black. I mean, you could do black cowboy thing. Ionisys, Cillian Murphy for a cowboy as a Clint Eastwood cowboy, perhaps. Alex Ogle, I was surprised to see Robert Downey Jr. in Back to School playing a commie student. Oh yeah, he's great in that. I love him in that. Ardent, yep, Ionisys. Michael B. Jordan, again, you could do the black cowboy thing. Probably make it work. Robert Downey Jr. is good in anything. Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise, has he done a Western? He's too short is the problem. And now he's looking weird. He's entered that Sylvester Stallone phase where it's like he doesn't look old, but he looks odd. So I would say no to Tom Cruise, but probably couldn't stop him if he wanted to be in a Western. Michael Fassbender, no. Ryan Gosling, again, too pretty. Maybe as the singing cowboy. Jake Gyllenhaal, no. We've established no. Denzel Washington, Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay. Ardent, Far and Away. He's not a cowboy in that, is he? He's just he's an angry Irish immigrant. Let me try. New leading actors in Hollywood. Let's try that. Let's get some new faces up here. Best current actors. Here we go. Meet the new A-list top 10 young movie stars. Austin Butler. Now, he'd be all right. Yeah, he's got a look. He could do not too grizzled, but he's not too much of a pretty boy. Timothy Chalamet. No. No. Maybe if you're going to remake Brokeback Mountain, he's just way too... No. I don't know this dude. Maybe. He could probably do a sheriff. Paul Mescal. I don't remember what he looks like. Jenna Ortega. She's in everything. Oh, Glenn Powell. He'd be good. He's a little too pretty, but... I wouldn't mind him. Ardent. Scott Eastwood. Or is it James Caan's kid, who's also named Scott? Either one of those two, maybe. Yeah, and Wings Hauser has a kid who's in Yellowstone. Florence Pugh. Who? She's hot. She could be the bar wench or whatever. Alex, Timothy Chalamet could play the madam in the whorehouse in town. Ardent. Chalamet, F no. Sydney Sweeney, of course, as the hot chick. Anna Taylor-Joy as the alien who visits a Western town. Zendaya, no. I'm just going to say no to her. And what's his face? Who's the Irish kid? What the hell's his name? Oh, God, I can't think of his name now. God, these lists are terrible. All right, here's 75 most popular actors. All right, so we'll get past the first 20 or so. Oh, the Tom Holland. He just looks like a kid, so it'd be tough to find him a role. He probably could. There'd probably be something for Tom, but he couldn't do a lead. Chris Hemsworth has the look. Can he do the accent, though? Possibly. Pedro Pascal could be a Mexican bandito, I guess. Ardent, she could play Bambi's mom. Taylor-Joy, she's got the eyes for it. Denzel, we already talked about. Chris Pratt. Oh, yeah, Chris Pratt. I forgot about him. Sure. Ionisys, Billy the Kid for Tom Arnold. Billy the old middle-aged guy. Yeah, Chris Pratt could definitely do it. He's a little bulky, but it would work. Brad Pitt, yeah, it could work. Andrew Garfield, He had to change up his look. I mean, I don't know. Ardent, didn't Hemsworth play American in White Hat? Yeah, I didn't see that. Did he sound good? Benedict Cumberbatch, no. Jim Carrey? As the wackiest hat in the West, maybe, but not no serious one. Tom Hanks, no. Adam Sandler, absolutely not. He already played he already did a funny Western. Ardent, I figured Chris Pratt for sure, but didn't mention him. Iona says, Tom Holland, Billy the Kid. Maybe. J.C. Pratt was also in The Magnificent Seven. Was that any good? I guess it just sort of came and went. Don't do remakes, kids. Tom Cruise, no. William Dafoe, yeah, as a prospector, but he couldn't be the lead. Dwayne Johnson, we already went through. Michael B. Jordan, Gyllenhaal, no. We said no. Mark Ruffalo, as the gayest hat in the West, I guess, but no. Robert Pattinson, well, there's an interesting one. Ardent, Carrie, if they remade the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, maybe. Robert Pattinson, I mean, I don't hate the idea. He's getting more grizzled as he gets older. I mean, he's got kind of a pretty boy face, but he's trying to, I don't know. After he did Batman, I kind of changed my view on him because, man, he beat the crap out of dudes in Batman. I mean, I get it. He was in a movie and they just made it look that way, but it worked. Ardent, Magnificent Seven Redux was okay, not memorable. JC, Jim Carrey is running scared after people asked him about Epstein Island. Well, I guess we can keep him off the list. Alex Ogle, our speculation is fun, but you know any Western will have a manless Stenberg in the lead. Oh my God. Matt Damon, nah, maybe. Daniel Craig, no. He was already in Cowboys and Aliens, and that movie sucked. Donkey balls. Arctic, Craig, no. Cowboys versus Aliens, thank you. JC, don't bother with the Magnificent Seven. Stick with Seven Samurai. Jason Momoa, if you could explain his deal, maybe, again, Mexican Bandito. I don't know. Not the lead, though. Joaquin Phoenix, maybe. Mads Mikkelsen as the German German gunfighter who came to town and murders everybody. He'd be a good villain. At JEC from Ardent, reminding me I want to rewatch 47 Ronin. Alex Ogle, Mad Milkinson as the villain, yes. Oscar Isaac? Maybe. I mean, he doesn't have a bad look. Gary Oldman, maybe. He's a little old. He's a good actor, though. I mean, maybe. Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser needs to lose about 40 pounds, and I think he could do it. Otherwise, he has to play the wacky sheriff who falls off his horse at the beginning of the movie. Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton. I don't know, man. Possible. Seems like a long shot. Ardent, Milkinson, if he were younger, same as the Danish boys, their dad played Eric Selksig in the MCU. Tobey Maguire. Ooh, that's a interesting. He kind of looks the same though, but a little too average. I don't know. Maybe if you have to scuff him up a bunch. J.C. Oldman could be the Western shopkeeper. He can do a lot of things. He's really good. Ardent. Fraser was awesome in The Mummy. He was, but he's still kind of heavy. Ethan Hawke. Oh, I could see Ethan Hawke. 100%. Yeah, yep. I could see him as the old gunfighter. He's got the look. The voice is fine. Stephen Young, not really. Chris Pine. I don't hate it. I kind of hate every movie he's been in, just about, except for maybe the first Star Trek, but I don't hate the idea of him doing a Western. He probably already did one that no one saw. Uh, Ardent Hawk was done in a few already. JC McGuire is too pretty, boyish. Sebastian Stan, maybe. Kind of annoyed with him because of the whole Trump thing, but he's the right age, kind of the right look. He's an American. Ardent Sebastian Stan, yeah. Rami Malek as the bug-eyed sidekick of the villain, maybe, but I don't see him as the lead. Yeah, I don't see him as the lead. Stanley Tucci, no. No, it's wrong movie for him. Adam Driver, maybe. He is a good actor. He's right age. Ralph Fiennes, no. Josh Hutcherson, Gladiator Boy, maybe. I don't know. I'm not super enamored with him yet. Ardent, the town pickpocket with Ricketts, Malik, yeah, a weird character. Jude Law, no. Channing Tatum, no. Colin Farrell, I'm convinced Colin Farrell can now literally play any role after watching him in that penguin makeup and like just being stunned that it was even him. So I have to give a yes to Colin Farrell. I mean, he is the living embodiment of Clayface from the DCU. Ardent, Joel Edgerton. Oh, that's a good choice. Yeah. Vigo, he already played a cowboy. He's pretty good in it. I like Hidalgo. Sue me. Javier Bardem as the evil Mexican general, but I don't know. He's a little too Spanish. I don't think he could do the lead. Lee Pace. I forget what he looks like. Miles Teller. That's an interesting choice. I think he could work. Jacob Elordi. Maybe a little too young. Daniel Kaluuya. No, maybe you've explained his deal. James Marsden. He's played a cowboy. He's okay at it. Hidalgo was great. I liked it. Austin Butler, of course. Yes. John C. Reilly as the wacky prospector. Ben Affleck, we already went through. Barry Keoghan. I was trying to think of his name. If he could do an American accent, he'd be all right. He's a little young. Jacob Batalon. Ned? No. Ned. Simu Liu. No, I hate him. I can't stand that dude. I don't want to see him in anything. Brian Tyree. Again, you can explain his deal. Seth Rogen. No. Josh Hartnett. Oh, I think he's been in a Western. I think he's totally been in a Western. Sam Worthington. He's got the right look, but I kind of can't stand him. But I would tolerate him. God, he needs a better script, though. Zachary Levi. Maybe. You have to change him up a little bit. Ardent. Riley played an eerie MFer in A River Runs Through It with Bacon and Streep. Huh. Alex Ogle. Simu Liu working on the railroads too soon? I don't even want him doing that. Paul Mescal. He looks a little too young, but, Billy the Kid or something appropriate. Kenneth Branagh. Again, he'd play the English guy who came to town, but he's a little too English for it. Coleman Domingo. Probably not. Charlie Day. Yeah, as the wacky prospector. Or as the deputy gets killed in the fourth scene, or as a town drunk. It has to be a hilarious one. Jack Quaid. It's a little young. It looks a little too young. Jesse Plemons. That is an old picture of him. He's fattened up since then. Maybe on Jesse Plemons. Probably not the lead. Lee Shriver. Ooh, that would be a good one. I think Lee would do a good cowboy. Yeah, he's got kind of an edge to him. Aldous Hodge, don't really know him. Lake Stanfield. John David Washington. Again, if you're doing Black Cowboy thing. Paul Dano. He has been in a Western, I think. I mean, he was in the oil movie. What's the name? Forget. Ardent. Lemos. Schreiber would be a good older outlaw. Absolutely. Paul Dano, I think, would be good. He's good in everything. Jared Leto. he looks the part, but God, I mean, everybody hates everything Jared Leto's in at this point. I mean, now he's going to be in Tron Ares. That looks awful too. Just stop putting him in things. I don't know. He just, I don't know. Jonathan Majors, no. Jake Johnson, probably not. Hina Abdul Mateen, again, probably not. Josh O'Connor, no. Boyd Holbrook, he looks like the lead singer of Nirvana. Jacob Lattimore, no. All right, and that's it. Ardent, Jared Leto, ha 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 ha. Yeah. 10 ways to Mobius in the Old West. All right, we got to get rolling here. All right, I already did that. Okay. Anything at Deadline? Barack Obama LA event raises more than $4 million for Kamala Harris campaign. Go F yourself. Who played the bad guy in Logan? Asked Arden. Let's see. I still haven't seen Logan, by the way. I know. I should see it. I know. It's good. Somehow it's good, and James Mangold directed it. How do I get... let's see. Show me the rest of the cast. IMDb. Why are you giving me so many... Here it is. Top cast. Okay. Who's the villain in this? Was that Holbrook? What? Disappointed. Boyd Holbrook? Pierce? Was Pierce the villain in that? He'd be all right. He has a good enough look, I think. Oh, Shane Black. Where's Shane Black? Did Shane write the script? He didn't write the script, did he? No. Alex Ogle, forget Logan. Let's remake Logan's Run with Sydney Sweeney and Jenny Aguirre's role. Is there anything she can't star in? No, not for me. Yeah, Pierce. Yeah, so that was Holbrook. Boyd Holbrook. All right, nothing else here. Over at Cosmic Book Nudes. Star Wars Daisy Ridley movie rumored on hold. Shocker. Oh, a terrible movie. Is it going to be put out in theaters? Wow. Oh no. Oh no. When will we get our terrible Star Wars movie? More rumors this week. More stuff on Agatha. Rumors about new Green Lantern, Jon Stewart. He'd be good for Jon Stewart. I mean, he needs different hair, but give him the right hair, I think he'd be fine. He's right age. The Wrap. Lost 20th anniversary, if you care about that show. I didn't care about it when it was coming out. My friend made me watch the last season, and I told him it would be a total bait and switch. He didn't believe me. And then he had to admit I was right. And that was the best part of sitting through all those episodes. Who was right? Me. This guy. Key and Peele don't see each other anymore. Keegan Michael Key says, a tragedy. Oh, that's a shame. That is a tragedy. Because I would like to see those two get back together and make a comedy movie. Even though their Keanu kind of flopped, but... Ardent, Charlie Cox could play a cowboy. Moving on now. That's true. Alex, a bit of heresy, but I did enjoy Ridley in Murder on the Orient Express, although Kenneth Branagh is not Perot. That's David Suchet for all time. I think I know the actor you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to do his version, but you gotta respect, the quality of it, I think. But I didn't know she was in that. I never heard of Daisy Ridley until the Star Wars fiasco came out. Oh my gosh. All right. I got to wrap up here because my allergies are about to blind me. I got to go get some allergy medicine and get some air and hit the bathroom. So what have we learned today? Well, we've learned that only about half of Hollywood could be in a Western. Excuse me. Oh, man. We've learned, of course, that Sydney Sweeney, once again, can be in anything. We've learned that Steven Seagal has made some movies, and we will be discussing them next week on this live stream and ranking them accordingly because we are gluttons for punishment, apparently. I'll have to find out some fun facts about Steven Seagal while I'm digging. There are some fun facts about him. Alex Ogle, her uncle was Arnold Ridley, who played in the comedy about the Home Guard in World War II England, Dad's Army. I've actually heard of Dad's Army. I don't think I ever saw it, but I remember hearing about it. We learned the box office wasn't great, and that there are no comedies out and nothing really worth watching. Nothing worth watching. Not much, anyway. Am I Racist is about the only shot you have of entertainment in the movie theater if you haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine already. And pretty much everything else is just, meh. Why did you bother? But there are some other movies out there that I've seen the trailers for that look, some of them look pretty good. I'm not always right about that. You know, oh, I have to tell you an awesome story. I looked at the trailer for a Cynthia Rothrock movie. I don't know if you guys know Cynthia Rothrock. She is a female action star from, I want to say the 80s. I think she started in the 80s, maybe the 90s. And she sent me a comment because I looked at the trailer for her most recent movie, which looks kind of like Fight Club, but in the Wild West. But she said, she was very nice, but she said I totally got it wrong. So check that out if you want to see interesting comment from an actual person who's in the movie. Ardent, we've learned that there only seem to be about 12 men acting in Hollywood. Yes, or acting like men in Hollywood. Alex, I'm going to see Joker 2 the weekend after next. Is it really bad? I don't know. My vibe on it is the musical theater is not great unless A, it's funny, or the music is like off the charts amazing. And then the performers have to be amazing too. I'm not a fan of Lady Gaga at all. I think she's got one or two good songs. The movie takes place in the past. All the songs are from the 70s, which I do kind of like, but I kind of don't like Lady Gaga. And I don't have a lot of confidence that Joaquin Phoenix is a particularly good singer, but he was in the Johnny Cash movie, so he's good in that. So maybe it'll be good. I mean, Todd Phillips, the first movie's really good, and I have to give it to Todd Phillips. But then again, he made The Hangover, which is really good, and then made two sequels, which are really, really terrible. So my vibe is it probably is not going to be great, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it's awful, like god awful. Like, I'm not hearing a lot of good buzz on it yet, but I don't think anyone's really seen it. Carter Chain, before you go, I just found out I'll be in Jersey for a wedding in April. Should we meet for coffee if you're available? Shoot me an email or whatever. We'll see. Or at the very least, you could check out one of my events and just come by, say hi. Ardent, the Skarsgård kids, Alexander especially, wasn't at my PC until now. Perhaps. Alex, Cynthia Rothrock was a martial arts babe. Yeah, she looks okay. She's still got some moves. Ardent, oh wow, Cynthia Rothrock was massive in the 80s. Lots of martial arts stuff, LOL. I'll point out that if the music in Joker 2 was any good, we'd have heard it by now. Well, I think it's all covers, but I'm not sure. Alex at Ardent, yes, that's true. Bollocks. Indie Phantom, lost me early on J.J. Abrams. had that stupid formula. Ardent, sorry, Alex. Indie Phantom, we learned that Seagal would be great in Westerns. That would be pretty funny, actually. How about Steven Seagal in a Western, but it's the same as his show, where he's a cop, only he's like a deputy in a Western, and he keeps talking to the camera, but nobody else can see it but him. So it's like, all right, we're going to go talk to this guy. He's probably going to want to shoot out with us. I'm the fastest gun in the West in this movie, so I'm going to be killing him right now. Like somebody else has to take the shot for him to make sure he survives. Ardent, the hell we did. Indie Phantom, I love Seagal as the villain in Machete. Oh, I didn't see Machete the movie. I remember seeing the trailer. I thought, wasn't Robert De Niro in the trailer for Machete as the president or something? Indie Phantom, he was hilarious. He self-deletes with style. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun next week, I think, going over the Seagal movies. I might have to watch one or two of them beforehand if I have the time. Oh, boy. I got a lot of stuff going on this week. Okay, so what's going on this week with me? Real quick. I will be at the Hamilton. It's a big difference there. Hamilton Historical Society of Atlantic County in Hamilton, New Jersey on the 25th. That's Wednesday for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Then on Thursday, I'll be at the Mary M. Campbell Marcus Hook Public Library in Marcus Hook, PA at 5 p.m. for how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Gonna have to leave early for that. Rush hour traffic. Ardent, on Deadly Ground. I can't wait to see you roast that mess. Okay. Then on the weekend, September 28th, I'll be at Second Time Books in Mount Laurel, New Jersey at 10 a.m. This was supposed to be a big signing for me. I hope it's still a big signing. I think I have to share the platform with another author, but I'm not opposed to that because it's near Halloween. It should be good. And I love the guys at Second Time Books. They're a good bunch. They advertise well. The 29th, I'll be at Seacon. This is Sunday at the Community Center in Seabright, New Jersey, near Donovan's from 10 to 4. That is a comic book convention. So that will be fun. It's been a while since I did a comic book convention, so I can once again come back and say, no one's talking about new comics. Because literally no one at that comic book convention, a convention for comics, will mention one word about new Marvel or new DC. Promise you. Indie Phantom, everyone watch Marked for Death and Hard to Kill this week. Thank me next week. Indie Phantom, Out for Justice, great too. Arnett, I still remember both very well. Alex Ogle, Indie Phantom noted. Indie Phantom, binge the Seagal. That's the assignment, lads. Binge Steven Seagal, and next week make sure you have your hair in a ponytail, because otherwise it doesn't count. Ardent, Above the Law was good Seagal, probably peak Seagal. Interesting. Yes, that should be fun going through his IMDb list. Above the Law is good. Major ponytail. His first, and Sharon Stone too. Sharon Stone's in that? I didn't remember her being in a Steven Seagal movie. I would have thought I would have remembered that. I just remember Kelly Brock in one of the movies. Alex Ogle, have a great week, Tony, and everyone else in all your endeavors. Thank you, Alex. Smash like on the way out. Thank you all for attending this seminar on everything wrong in Hollywood once again. Tune in tomorrow where I tell you again about everything wrong with Hollywood, but only in with current Hollywood stories. Ardent, LOL, clippered my hair today. I'll go through the garbage and glue a ponytail together. Excellent. At Alex Ogle, thanks. Later all. Later, Gators. All right. Thank you all, and we'll see you in the next one.